Hey folks, rinimt here, and welcome to Saintess of the Golden Bow. Thank you to the developer for the code. The demo has been updated since last I played with some new CGs, adjusted pacing, and all that. So I'm excited. This is gonna be a long haul. Let's dive in from the beginning. Thus, other than the first two scenes, the game is partially voiced during CGs only.
Ugh, just my luck. Why does it have to be pouring now? Oh, I want to go home. I'll be soaked by the time I reach the subway.
I run down the street, passing by shops that already closed long ago. Hunger gnaws at me. That's what I get for working late. I hold my bag over my head, but my attempts to block the rain from soaking me are futile. Cars speeding down the street kick up puddles that shower me in rainwater. This morning, the weather report said it wouldn't rain, so I didn't take an umbrella with me or even a hoodie. Damp cold seeps into my body, making me shiver.
This day sucks.
My thoughts wander back to earlier. Yet another workday where my boss yelled at me and I had to cover for my sick coworker on top of doing my own tasks. I didn't manage to complete all of my assignments, hence the necessity to stay late at the office. If only I actually got overtime pay every once in a while. Today's Thursday and I've already worked past closing 3 nights this week.
An office job sucks.
I recently graduated from college and got this boring job where all I do is call people to sell them beauty products. Not my dream job at all. But in today's job market, I should be grateful to even have a job. Shouldn't I?
Adult life sucks.
It hadn't taken me long to tire of the monotony of getting up in the morning, riding the subway to work, spending all day doing boring tasks, and coming home so exhausted that
I just want to curl up under a blanket and read web novels.
Speaking of which, I got a notification on the web novel app that my favorite book was updated.
Being the heroine of a fantasy romance novel would be such an amazing life. Fighting to save a kingdom from impending doom, wielding magical powers, and falling in love with a hottie.
I should take a look at the app. It's the only solace I get in my sad existence. I pull out my phone and unlock it. I open the app, looking at all the updates. I don't care the droplets of water falling on my screen. I just want to know how many new chapters are live.
I've got so much to read on the subway.
3 new chapters! I'm almost at the subway entrance. Oh, just a little bit longer and I'll be able to immerse myself in a much more interesting world than the one I live in. I run through the crosswalk.
What?
By the time I look up to see a light was actually red, not green. It's too late. I'm in the middle of the crosswalk when a truck driving straight at me. Should I take a step back or run forward? Quick! Bank Celine! I take a step back. It hurts. The pain. It's excruciating. My whole body hurts so much. I'm dying, aren't I? The suffering is too great for me to handle. I need to make it stop. I need to let my life go. Next thing I know, I'm floating in a cotton-like substance. I feel comforted. Safe, even. Have I really died? Am I in heaven now? I wanted to read the last chapter of my favorite author's new web novel! Now I'll never know what happens to the heroine in the end. Chuckles gives me a loud sound in this quiet place. I'm pathetic, aren't I? I died, and now I'm just thinking of my hobbies, not my parents or my friends. What does that sound? In the emptiness, I can hear someone singing, an angelic voice. It's calling to me.
You must fight on.
I must? But I'm dead! I don't have to do anything. Suddenly I feel a pull. My soul gets grabbed and yanked towards a golden whirlpool. I scream, but no sound comes out of my mouth. Close my eyes, the shifting reality around me making me feel dizzy. When my senses return to me, the first thing I notice is the fresh scent of a forest. I open my eyes and look around. Lush canopies of trees above me sway gently in the light breeze. There's something heavy in my hand, and when I look down, I see that I'm holding a simple hunting bow. My feet, clad in riding boots, sink into the damp green moss of the forest floor. I'm out hunting, I realize. Wait, how's this possible? I just died. It's been ages since I handled the bow. Last time I practiced archery was in middle school. back when my parents could still afford to spoil me. I also hadn't put on such high boots today for work, or these fancy pants, or this jacket. The outfit looks almost like it belongs in the Korean webcomic. Where am I? What is this place? I spin on my heel a few times, taking a better look at my surroundings. Woods as far as my eyes can see, a peaceful forest. Take another glance at my outfit and run my hands through my long violet hair.
Who am I?
Celeste? Where are you, Celeste?
I realized I'm supposed to be hiding. Hiding from what or whom? I don't understand. I only know I must seek cover. The urge to disappear from sight is so strong that I don't even question it. I find a thicket of bushes and dive into them. From my hiding spot, I observe the situation, holding my breath. A handsome man with red hair tied back in a ponytail runs towards me. He's wearing some sort of fantasy armor, and he has two thin swords on his hips. I recognize this person. This man is my knight, Levi Parent. Wait, I don't have a knight. I'm Celine, a 21-year-old simple office worker, fresh out of college with a job in sales. Am I still the person I was half an hour ago, or have I fundamentally changed somehow? No. No matter my outward appearance, I'm still Celine. Levi turns left and right, searching for me.
Celeste? Please, come out!
Failing to discover me, he runs off. I recognize this guy's look from somewhere, and the name Celeste is familiar too. No. I couldn't have. Did I get reincarnated here? Of all the books or games that could have been the setting for my reincarnation, why did it have to end up in a BL tragic fantasy web novel? Why this one? Saint of the Golden Bow is the work's name. It was recently adapted as a webcomic. That's how popular it had become. The book used to be one of my favorites, but the world of this story is not a nice place to live. There's a war going on with a demon queen. And Celeste, why'd I have to be reincarnated as her? What I just witnessed was the opening scene of the book. Before Levi is chosen to become the titular saint, he goes out hunting with his unrequited love, the lady he's serving. He's supposed to protect Celeste, but he loses sight of her at some point, and an ungodly sound makes the hairs on my skin stand up. The creature that made the sound appears to my right. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. An abomination. Demon. The imp's leathery wings flap in the air, then the creature flies towards me. It has spotted me. This is the moment when Celeste de Cura dies a miserable death. It had become a part of Levi's tragic backstory. But I just died from being hit by a truck. I don't want to die again. Especially not in a scripted event where I'm supposed to just fade away so I can serve as part of someone else's tragedy. I have frozen where the truck was driving at me, but no, I won't let death claim me again so easily. The imp is still far enough away for me to attempt to save my life. I have to act quickly. The monstrosity is coming closer and closer. My hands are sweaty and my arms are shaking.
I refuse to give up!
Call for Levi's help as loudly as you can. Levi's my knight. It's his duty to protect me.
Levi!
The scream is named at the top of my lungs. Tears roll down my cheeks. The imp gets closer and closer to me. My heart beats erratically.
Levi!
I almost feel its clawed hands ready to dig into my arms when Levi runs out from between the trees, his two swords ready for a fight. Without a moment of hesitation, he impales the monstrosity with one of his weapons and cleanly cuts off its head with the other. I gasp. Levi's movements are so efficient, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by the black demon blood that splashes on his armor. I'm alive. Levi came to save me in time after all. I slumped to my knees, holding the bow in my hand. In the heat of the moment, I forgot that I could have used it to defend myself. What if I had shot and missed, though? Levi kneels down before me.
My lady, can you walk?
I don't think so.
Is that... is mine? Oh, no wonder my mouse is... Chip. There we go, okay.
I'll carry you.
No, there's no need for...
Ah. Levi takes me to his arms bridal style. The bow slips from between my fingers.
My bow.
Don't worry about the weapon. I will return for your bow later. Right now, it's of utmost importance that I carry you back to the safety of the mansion.
But it's...
No buts. Let me do my job, for once.
Levi walks towards where we left our horses, or so my memory of Celeste recalls. So, I really am Celeste now. I am part of the world of the Saint of the Golden Bow, even though I was supposed to die. So what will my survival mean for the story now? All washed up, my lady. After an awkward bath where I had to let my maid, Linda, watch me, I'm finally dressed in a nightgown and allowed to rest. My body feels weak, the shock of dying, reincarnating, then almost dying again, finally taking a toll on me. I yawn. I'm gonna lie down. Is there anything else you need from me? I forgot I'm supposed to formally dismiss Linda whenever I want to be alone. I'm good for now. I'll call for you later if I need anything. All right, my lady. Linda curtsies before me and then she exits the room. I sink in the softness of the mattress, taking a good look around the room. This place has an undeniably expensive, polished, fancy look. Somebody has tried very hard to make the atmosphere more feminine. In the army of teddy bears... If the army of teddy bears can be called feminine instead of creepy, and I know it wasn't Celeste. The Celeste in the book mentions is quite a tomboy, caring little for girly things like dolls and decorations. She doesn't have good social skills, she lacks proper manners, and she dances like an elephant. Instead, she's great at archery, hunting, and riding horses. However, this society deems all of those activities inappropriate for a lady, and thus she doesn't have many friends. Sounds so much like me in my past life. The only two people who really like Celeste are Levi, who for some reason that isn't really explained in the book, adores this lady, and Celeste, are you alright? Celeste's twin sister, Eurydice. The book also briefly mentions Eurydice as part of Levi's backstory, simply describing her as the more ladylike twin who loves pink and romance novels. I feel Celeste's emotions for Eurydice in my heart, though. Celeste really cherishes her sister. Celeste? I'm alright. Thanks for worrying about me. She rushes over to my bed, fixing the pillow under my head and helping me sit up. Well, of course I'm worried about you. You're my beloved sister. What would I do if I lost you? Levi was with me. Nothing bad could have happened to me under his protection. You think I don't know how you always run off from Levi during your hunts, making excuses that you have to be alone because he's stomping too loud, scaring your prey off? Busted, I know that is exactly what Celeste has always done. I take a glance at Celeste's memories, wondering if she ever realized Levi was in love with her and if running off was her way of trying to avoid the awkwardness of his puppy-like adoration. I feel a touch of awkwardness, unsure of how to deal with the way Levi has always viewed her. The situation wasn't comfortable for Celeste at all. You got me. Did you split from Levi this time too, sister? I did. Figures. I really would like to know what happened today, though. Levi babbled something about a demon? I'd like to know more too, for the matter. Father walks into the room without knocking or otherwise warning us of his presence. The joy I felt at talking to Eurydice momentarily evaporates. What happened today that's left you so disheveled? Look down at myself. I did get quite roughed up from diving into the bushes earlier. My hair tousled and my skin covered in small scratches. Linda fixed me up though. Now I'm clean and neat and wearing a fresh nightgown. There's nothing disheveled about me. As you can see, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Father huffs. You and your sister's 18th birthday is in 3 days. We're leaving for the capital the day after tomorrow. If you're not healed up and in top form by then, I'll be up and running by tomorrow. My body feels tired and heavy, but it's nothing a bit of sleep can't fix. I see Eurydice scoot slightly to the left, as if taking a step away from Father's negative energy. You'd better be. I don't want you to ruin the Golden Bow ceremony for your sister. You're forbidden to leave the mansion for the next 3 days. Tell him off. I have no desire to leave the mansion after nearly dying today. Don't you think that such an event would have taken a toll on me? 2 months ago, you had a run-in with a bear during one of your hunts. 3 months earlier, you fought a pack of wolves. Why should I think yet another encounter with a rabid creature would suddenly make my daughter timid? My mouth falls open. The memories of the encounter Father mentioned resurface. He isn't lying. You better cease your rowdiness and stay at home. Do you want me to prolong your house arrest? No, there's no need for that. I think Celeste's father has won this round, however pained I am to admit it. Now tell me what happened. Levi killed a demon? there really was a demon present, not just a rabid animal. So the story he told me was true. What was such a monstrosity doing in the middle of the Lokari Empire lands? We're far from the warfront. The imp was conveniently there to kill Celeste for Levi's tragic backstory. Want to tell the truth, but of course I won't. Father in your days would take me for a mad woman if I babble about them being characters from a novel. I don't know. It attacked me, so I screamed loud enough for Levi to come to my side. He killed the imp in 2 blows. Father sits down in the chair next to the entrance of my room and hides his face in his hands. I knew my daughter wasn't much of a noble lady, but this... My sister and I share a smile. Why wasn't your knight at your side when the demon attacked you? I ran off on him again. I wanted to hunt on my own. Of course. Big yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth with my hand. Rest. Father gets up and gestures for Eurydice to leave. Eurydice nods and walks behind him out of the room. She turns back to me when she's in the doorway and gives me a warm smile. Get some rest. I'll be back later. I sink more deeply into the bed, making myself comfortable. It doesn't take long for me to fall into dreamless slumber. When I wake up again, the rays of morning sun pour into my room. I get out of bed and stretch to make sure my body is working properly. I feel refreshed after my long sleep. No more weakness to my limbs. Everything's in order again. I walk to the desk and sit down. I take a fresh sheet of paper. I hesitate when I realize there's only a quill for writing, but I won't be stopped. I produce a few scratchy letters. My handwriting looks horrible. Seems I can't directly access Celeste's skills after all. That's quite inconvenient. I can manage to write with a quill, but not very well, and only in English. I write down everything I know about the web novel, Saint of the Golden Bow, so I can organize my knowledge of the world and line it up with Celeste's memories. Start with the basics. Saint of the Golden Bow is a romantic tragedy fantasy web novel by the Korean web novelist Hanul Kim. I read the English translation on one of my favorite web novel and comic apps. The story was supposed to be turned into a webcomic and had promo art, which is how I was able to recognize Levi immediately. His design in the artwork even had him in the same outfit he was wearing on the day of the demon attack. Maybe I should also write down... what a web novel is. What a web novel is? Since the beginning of the 21st century, web novels have been immensely popular in South Korea. A web novel is a novel first published on the internet. Readers unlock chapters and interact with what they are reading by posting comments. Web novels tend to be very long in order to maximize engagement. Saint of the Golden Bow was an exception. It wasn't that long of a book, but it still got over 100 chapters. It was translated to English and published on one of my favorite web novel and comic apps. I was grateful for the chance to read it in English as I don't know Korean. What a webcomic is. Webcomics are often adaptations of web novels. Each episode is published on a reading app as a long vertical strip. Some even feature music composed specifically for their chapters, but those are rare. Unlike other Asian comics like manga, webcomics are in color. They are published digitally too, though sometimes they also end up being printed as books. There's a very popular genre of webcomics right now called otome isekai. In these stories, the girl from Earth dies and is reincarnated as a character in a visual novel or web novel. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I've been isekai'd, haven't I? Not as a villainess though, a bad character like in most of those stories. Instead, I'm what is referred to as an extra and insignificant character. Maybe that's for the best. After all, being a main character means I couldn't have messed up the story too much by avoiding my planned death in the plot. What boys' love is. I scribbled BL on the paper. Boys' love is a genre of Asian media that centers around relationships between two men but is geared towards the female audience. It's romantic and simply wonderful to watch two men fall in love with each other. I'm really such a simp for good BL romance. I've got the basics. That's enough. Get up for a moment and wander over to the mirror. I touch a hand to the glass. Wow. The design of Celeste wasn't included in the promo art. I take in my new features, violet hair and pink eyes, a slender figure. There's no denying it. I'm really not Celine anymore. The understanding that I've reincarnated into the web novel finally settles in my mind. I feel calm, calmer than I ever thought I would be if something out of a novel suddenly changed the course of my life. As strange as this situation is, I'm Celeste and I have her memories, but somehow I'm Celine as well, equipped with knowledge of this world that Celeste never had. I walk back to the desk and sit down. The book Saint of the Golden Bow starts with Celeste's death event. Levi was in love with his lady for years, but the actual love interest of the story is Prince Noah. Celeste has to die at the beginning of the book to make Levi feel at his lowest when the Golden Bow chooses him as a saint. Why didn't Celeste save herself if she was said to be so great at archery? I'm glad Levi came to help me. I doubt I would have been able to defeat the demon on my own, even though I have some archery skills. Must be book logic. She had to die for the story in the Saint of the Golden Bow to proceed the way it did. Soon after Celeste's death, Levi's quest to save the Lokari Empire from the Demon Queen begins. He doesn't go alone. Noah, as well as High Priest Elijah, the second love interest, both accompany him on the journey. Noah and Levi fall in love. Elijah falls in love with Levi too, but Levi chooses Noah. When the final confrontation with the Demon Queen happens, the love Noah and Levi share is an important component of defeating the Fiend. Through their love, the magic of the weapon becomes stronger. However, this story is a tragic one. Even though Levi defeats the Demon Queen, he perishes in the process. Noah and Elijah live on, and peace returns to the Lokari Empire. I remember crying at the end of the book. I've read the novel twice. Saint of the Golden Bow is really one of my favorite stories. I still don't appreciate being reincarnated into this world though, especially not Celeste, whose only purpose in the story is to add angst to Levi's life. I didn't die when I was supposed to though, and now the story has continued regardless. Wonder how many things will change now because Celeste is alive. Will Levi still be able to fall in love with Noah despite the fact that I'm still here? He seems pretty hung up on Celeste after all. I look into Celeste's memories to examine her feelings about Levi. I sense a mixture of emotions, anger, awkwardness, desperation. Celeste didn't like to be on the receiving end of Levi's feelings. She badly wanted him to stop looking at her with romantic intentions. What Celeste really needed was to have a friend in him, not a lover. As a noble lady, she especially found his feelings for her inappropriate. I can't quite hate Celeste for being cold to Levi now that I know how distressed she was about his love for her. At the same time, I do pity Levi. If Levi was so in love with Celeste, though, how did he move on to Noah so quickly? His change of heart wasn't really explained in the novel. I remember some people voicing their opinions on the forums of how unrealistic this plot point was. If Levi and Noah don't fall in love at the end of the quest, will Levi still be able to defeat the Demon Queen? I shudder. What if I've broken the story beyond repair by avoiding my demise? On the day of Celeste and Eurydice's 18th birthday, Father takes us to the capital to attend the Golden Bow ceremony. Levi had his 18th birthday a few days ago as well. Since he's of lower standing than the Count's family, Father got the approval of the church for Levi to attend their ceremony together with us instead of his own a few days earlier. Now, Eurydice, Levi, and I stand in the middle of the chapel in the royal palace in Solus, Lokari Empire's capital. Behind us are the many other people who will be tested. Hello. Before us, the High Priest Elijah Soren takes a spot behind the titular Golden Bow, the fabled artifact that will choose the saint one day. I know that day will be today, since Levi is the one who will be chosen. I eye the bow with suspicion. Light reflects off its gold-covered surface. The design is pretty elaborate. It's like a pain in the ass to use as a weapon. Too ornamental for my taste.
We are all gathered here today to see if the golden bow, the weapon given to us by our Lord to help us one day defeat the vile Demon Queen, will finally choose its saint. On this beautiful morning, when the sun's rays fall through the windows of our chapel, let us give our gratitude to the Lord. He has given us means to end the war that has been raging for so many decades.
I've never been particularly religious, even in my past life. I especially don't believe in a fantasy god, but...
Let us give our gratitude.
Let us give our gratitude.
Let us give our gratitude.
20 years ago, the blessed blacksmith was bestowed with the Lord's inspiration and crafted the golden bow. He worked tirelessly day and night until finally he completed the artifact. Ever since then, the people of the Lokari Empire have sought to be tested on the day of their 18th birthday by the golden bow. The artifact will choose its wielder. That person will become the saint and be tasked with defeating the Demon Queen, who has terrorized our borders for 23 years. I will now call forth today's attendees to be tested. Each of you just needs to touch the golden bow once, and its judgment will be bestowed on you.
Elijah takes out a sheet of paper and reads the first name from the list. Eurydice de Croix, daughter of Count de Croix. Eurydice approaches the bow as she puts a hand on the artifact. Nothing happens. Of course, what else did I expect? Levi is the saint. The golden bow will only glow for him. Brown appears in the high priest's brows. He reads the next name. Celeste de Croix, daughter of Count de Croix. I take a deep breath and step onto the podium, reminding myself I shouldn't expect anything. I put my hand on the weapon. For a moment, nothing happens, but then the bow glows. Its light getting brighter and brighter with each second. The light feels scorching hot. I close my eyes, worrying I'll go blind if I don't.
You must fight on.
Hear the angelic voice again. Was the bow the one speaking to me when I was reincarnated, or was it the god of light himself? The thought that I may have been addressed by a deity is frightening. No. Gods aren't real. You're not religious, Celine. You called the bow. The burning light makes my skin feel like it's on fire, so I take my hand away from the bow. My hand continues burning, the searing pain climbing up my arm to my chest. Ah! I scream. My head is spinning. The pain is too much for me to handle. I wanted to stop. Stop! Lady Celeste! Sister! Darkness takes me to its comforting embrace. Ugh, I feel so groggy. I'm in a guest room in the apartment that was assigned to our family when we first arrived at the palace for the ceremony. Lady Celeste can't be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The role is too dangerous for her. Turn my head to the left. Levi and Eurydice stand by the door. Neither of them notice I'm awake. Just imagining her going on the dangerous quest to defeat the Demon Queen makes me terrified for her life. We have to stop the Church and Empress from declaring her to be the Saintess. Levi, it's not for us to decide who the Saintess is. Neither is it the choice of the Church or the Empress. It's the God of Light who singled out Celeste to be the savior of our empire. This must be some kind of mistake. Levi, you're committing blasphemy here. You can't go against God's wishes. Lady Celeste is... Look, I know you're worried for my sister, but please mind your words. If someone other than me hears your opinion about God's choice, you may get in trouble. So I really am the Saintess of the Golden Bow. Levi and Eurydice turn to me. Eurydice runs up to the bed and takes my hand in hers. Celeste, you're awake. How are you feeling? Fine, I think. Just a bit tired. You really scared us in the chapel. You screamed like someone was tearing you apart. The flame of the bow entering my body felt like it was burning me. That sounds horrible. I squeezed Eurydice's hand, trying to comfort her. I can't be the Saintess. It was supposed to be... I cut myself off when I realized I almost just said Levi was supposed to be chosen as the saint. Why me? I don't want to be a Saintess. I'm sure you'll do fine. You're excellent at archery. I'm not as confident about my fighting skills as Eurydice is. Celeste may have been good at wielding the bow, but I can't access her full abilities. Judging by my handwriting, I can only manage the bare minimum of what she could do. I'm not proficient in any of her skills. What's gonna happen to me now? The Empress has summoned you for an audience 3 hours from now. What does the Empress want with me? She didn't say, but I think she intends to personally congratulate you on your new role. I suppose I should start getting ready then. First, High Priest Elijah requested to check on you as soon as you woke up. Check on me? His light magic. He wants to see if your body and mind are all right after being touched by God's grace. I would really prefer to be alone now, but there's no time for me to mull over what has happened. Okay, you can tell the High Priest I will see him. I'll go bring him here. Levi turns around, walks out of the room in long strides. Eurydice gives me a comforting smile. Everything's gonna be okay. I hope so too. Silence falls between us, but it's a cozy, warm kind of quiet. I get the feeling that no matter what happens, Eurydice will support me. I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. Maybe I should ask her to clarify some matters for me? Eurydice, what exactly does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? You'll have to defeat the Demon Queen by shooting an arrow from the golden bow and striking your heart. You're also expected to become a person people look up to. What do you mean? Someone who people will believe will save them. Someone strong and reliable. I already think you're pretty strong and reliable. Now you just need to convince the people that you are. I see. There's also the matter that Saintess need to be a key player in the politics in the Empire, though without the support of a faction, you won't be able to achieve much. A faction. Yes, the Empress rules the Olokari Empire, supported by the Emperor Consort. She has one son, the Crown Prince Noah. Then there are 3 factions in each court, each one represented respectively led by a duke, a duchess, and a viscountess. Do these factions have a name? The warlike faction is led by Duke George. They want the Empress to increase support for the war efforts of the Empire. The artistic faction is the group of nobles who flock to Duchess Penelope. They want the Empress to focus on supporting creative patronage and research while diverting financial support from the war. Then there's the conservative faction led by Viscountess Latita. They pride themselves on not siding with any political opinion outright. They support positions of the other factions as they see fit, and try to maintain balance among the politics of the Olokari Empire. And finally, there's the head of the church, High Priest Elijah Soren. Doesn't it spell with 1 R before? He offers the priesthood's opinion and input when it comes to political matters. That's a lot to remember. The political side of being the Saintess will come into play more once you complete the mission to defeat the Demon Queen. You don't need to worry about the politics for now. Am I part of the church now? You're not a priestess, if that's what you're asking. You're still a noble, so you can marry someone of noble standing if you'd like. Not sworn into the clergy to only marry within the church. I remember the subplot regarding Elijah. He was unable to be with Levi because Elijah was only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. Forbidden love. A popular trope. It's an unusual plot point for a web novel to explore. A religious figure falling in love. Still, people had admired the author for bringing something different to the table, even though the main ship had remained Noah and Levi. Marriage, that feels so far away. We're 18 now, so father will probably help us find suitable suitors soon. I would like to marry for love, if at all possible. Love. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levi and Noah's love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was a Saintess? Do you have someone in mind for marriage? What? Maybe? You can tell me. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Maybe another time. I'm not ready to admit it myself. Alright. Alright. Do you have any other questions for me? I'm happy to help. Let's see. How long... That, I hit the touchpad. How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? As the High Priest said, the Golden Bow was created by the Blessed Blacksmith 20 years ago, before we were even born. They say he worked tirelessly day and night for 2 weeks to create the artifact. The design was bestowed upon him by the God of Light himself. The Blessed Blacksmith said God told him in a dream that the Golden Bow will choose a saint when the time is right. Only the saint can wield the weapon and harness his power. What kind of power does the Golden Bow have? Light magic, the kind that the priests wield. It is said that only an arrow shot from the artifact will be able to kill the Demon Queen. Usual fantasy world MacGuffin then. For plot reasons, other weapons can't harm the ultimate boss. Right, makes sense. Hydration break. Because it's that time. Alright. Stay hydrated, y'all. It doesn't, but Hades doesn't seem to be aware of how ridiculous it is that only one weapon wielded by one special person can kill the enemies that the Empire has been fighting against for decades. After the Golden Bow was created, the whole Olokari Empire and our ally kingdom of Durandal were tested to see if the saint was among them. The savior wasn't found. Later it was decided that every person would get tested on their 18th birthday, as suggested by the Blessed Blacksmith. 20 years passed, but the saint still wasn't found until now. What do we know about the Demon Queen? People who have seen her say she looks like a beautiful woman, except she also has horns, a tail, and a third eye on her forehead. She's far from human. She's cruel and dangerous. She kills humans without mercy. She commands an army of demons of vile monstrosities. You saw one. Was as ugly as they say. The imp wasn't pretty, that's for sure. The war's been going on for 23 years now. Over that time, 1/3 of Olokari Empire's lands to the east have been ravaged by war and infiltrated by the demons. They leave only ruins behind when they take over a town. Their fire is said to be ever burning. You'll have to travel east to defeat the Demon Queen. She's taking up residence in the Cloudmont Castle. It used to be the seat of Duke Cloudmont and his family, but they had to abandon their homeland to the demons 10 years ago. That news doesn't make me want to go to the border at all. It'll be like walking straight into the maws of the enemy. I Fear you won't have a choice in the matter. The Empress decreed long ago that once a saint or saintess was found, they would immediately embark on the quest to defeat the Demon Queen with a party of the most capable fighters. Just hope you won't have to leave too soon. I think I'll need some time to learn to wield the golden bow and accept the whole situation. I'm sure the Empress will understand. Those are all the questions I have. For now, at least. Thank you for helping me sort through everything, sister. That's what I'm here for. One thing's certain, the people of the Kari Empire have been waiting for the Saintess for ages. A lot of faith will be put into your abilities. A lot will be expected from you. I don't envy you. If I could, I would share this burden with you. Thank you. I'm really moved by your dedication to me. High Priest Elijah and Count Decuri have arrived. They can enter. Elijah comes into the room followed by Father. Levi closes the door behind them, remaining in the living room of our apartment to guard the entrance. My gaze meets Father's glare. I don't know if I should laugh or cry at the fact that his disposition towards Celeste hasn't changed, even now that she's become the Saintess. Try not to say anything to Father while Elijah is around. I don't want him to witness a fight between us, and I doubt I can hold my tongue right now. May I sit beside you? Sure. Elijah approaches and sits beside me on the bed. I need to touch you to make sure you're healthy. Is that alright? Is that how light magic works? As someone who reincarnated here from Earth, I have little knowledge about magic. I don't remember a scene like this one with the High Priest in the book. Kind of think of it, Levi doesn't faint after touching a golden bow. He must have a much stronger resistance to pain than I do. Celeste doesn't know much about magic either. She has no magical powers of her own after all. Nobody in the Decuri family does. Look at Elijah. He stares back at me with a patient smile. A high priest is young for his position, but also really attractive. Never thought I could consider a guy with pink hair dashing. Clear my throat. Oh, I can do nothing to stop my cheeks from burning. Alright, go ahead. Hello. Elijah surprises me by leaning his forehead against mine. Before I can protest, an aura of white surrounds his body. He's really working his magic on me. Close my eyes and focus on how his magic makes me feel. His touch is pleasant and warm. I become strangely comforted. Before I realize what I'm doing, I'll lean in closer to him. Elijah's nervous and surprised chuckle makes me snap out of the comforting embrace of his magic. Your response to light magic is rather strange. I'm sorry. No, don't be sorry. The way you're drawn toward me towards my magic is peculiar, but it's also worth studying. I've never met anybody who reacted this way. Perhaps you'd be open to meeting again before we leave on the quest, so I can further study my magic's influence on you. Sure, we can meet again for research purposes. I am likewise curious about why I felt such warmth when the High Priest touched me. I'd also be interested in learning more about magic in general. My office will be open for you. Lady Celeste is healthy. I can also confirm that the Golden Bow's magic has entered her body. She's the Saintess. I hope you won't embarrass me. Thank you for the checkup. You're welcome. I'll go now. Let the Saintess prepare for the audience with the Empress. I'll be present there as well. Thank you for your time, High Priest. Till we meet again. When Elijah leaves, Father turns to Eurydice and Levi. I would like to speak to Celeste alone. Eurydice and Levi give me worried looks, but can do nothing else but leave me alone with Father. So you've gone and done it. Done what? Made yourself the center of attention again. First you fight with bears and wolves and a demon. Now you scream like a mad woman in the middle of the grand chapel. When you wake up, the High Priest confirms you're the Saintess. How could you possibly carry such an important role? An immature person like you could never become the savior of humanity. I didn't want to become the Saintess. And now you're actually admitting that you didn't want to be chosen by God? So you're a Saintess who rejects being a Saintess. Where's your faith gone? Much as you're a bad fit for the role, you should still carry it with dignity. Not sure what Father wants from me, other than another opportunity to belittle me. I have to wonder why he hates Celeste so much. Celeste's feelings don't supply me with a direct answer, but as I continue to tap into them, a wave of resentment towards Father suddenly washes over me. And now you're mute? Stand up to him. No, I can't let him belittle me. Maybe Celeste gave up long ago in interacting with Father, but I can't let him assume he has the right to abuse me. I may not be the best choice for the Saintess, but I'm going to do my best at fulfilling the role. Just watch me. Father laughs, a mean, unamused sound that chills my bones. You're going to further embarrass his family to struggle with being a key player in Yellowcari Empire politics. Do you think being a Saintess involves only shooting the bow? What about bringing hope to all of humanity? What about displaying excellent propriety that earned the favor of the political faction of the Yellowcari Empire? Roll a Saintess is waste on someone as useless as you. His words correspond to fears that have already bloomed in my soul. What if I really can't fulfill the role of the Saintess properly? What if Father is right? You're ready for the audience with the Empress. And when we're in the throne room, do your best not to demean the decorated name. All I can do is nod and watch him leave the room. A moment later, Linda appears in the doorway, ready to prepare me for the audience. 2 hours later, I follow a step behind Father. We walk through the corridors of the palace to the throne room where the Empress and the Emperor Consort are waiting for us. We walk in silence, then mood sour thanks to my earlier conversation with Father. Maybe I should use the opportunity to ask Levi, or putting my pride aside, Father, more about the Empress. I don't remember her very well from the novel. I know she's the mother of Noah, the main love interest, and that they have a strained relationship. No matter how hard I try, I can't remember why. Ask Father. Even though I'm sure Father will be rude towards me when I speak to him again, I think he must be the person with the most information about the Empress. Quicken my step to try and even my walking pace with him. He glances my way and does not slow down. What an ass. Father, could you tell me about the Empress? I want to be more prepared for the audience ahead. You have paid attention to your lessons of the Yellowcari Empire. You wouldn't need to ask me such a question. You've met the Empress yourself, have you not? Of course I have. The Empress is the son of the Yellowcari Empire, the greatest ruler in recent history, and a faithful follower of the God of Light. Her marriage to the former and current Durandi Prince the Moon of the Empire sealed our alliance with the Kingdom of Durandal to the south. The Radiant Lady rules our country firmly and lawfully, participating in both matters of peace and war. What about Prince Noah? Prince Noah is the Empress's only son, the Crown Prince. He's often seen fighting with the Empress during noble gatherings, which has netted him the name of the Mad Prince. I wouldn't associate with him if I were you. Why? Doing worse at being a poised noble than you are. Great. Thanks for the compliment, Father. The Empress is such an admirable person that I must have nothing to fear from this audience, right? But then why then is Prince Noah in conflict with the Empress? Got a lot to be afraid of the daughter since the Empress values impeccable manners. Which I don't possess, according to Father. Before I can ask him more questions, Father stops walking. I look ahead to see High Priest Elijah waiting for us in front of the huge set of double doors. High Priest Elijah? Hello again, Saintess. Count Decoree. Are you ready to enter? Father nods in response to Elijah's words before I can protest. I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of what to expect from this audience. Let's enter! The guards in front of the throne room entrance open the door and Father and Elijah enter the hall. I turn to Levi. As a commoner, he won't be allowed to say anything during the audience, but I still want his presence at my side. Come in with me. You'll only be able to stay by the door, but I want you to be there for this conversation. Alright. And I enter the throne room as well now, Levi following behind me. The Empress is sitting on her throne. The Emperor Consort is lounging in the smaller chair next to her. A man stands in front of the pair. His clothes are no less colorful than mine, but I feel like his outfit is of a similar design to those of the men I have seen in this world thus far. The embroidery on his vest is beautiful, though, a tangle of vines and flowers. Is this how commoners of this world dress? When our group moves in closer, I notice tremors have overtaken his body. He clenches his hands to the sides. Your Majesty, I beg of you, please help me. The Empress's smile freezes the blood in my veins. She stares at the man with such contempt, and I quickly realize what kind of ruler I'm really up against. My son, he's sick, but I have no money for medicine. Please, please let me use the magic of the priest to free you of charge. Elijah's mouth falls open. He takes a step toward the man, but Father grips his shoulders. He shakes his head and says in a low voice, Don't want to antagonize the Empress. Elijah nods and mouths back. I will seek out the man later. Why would I grant you preferential treatment? Be gone. There are more important matters to address. The Empress's gaze lands on us, and she beckons with her finger for us to approach. Ignoring the man's protest, two guards drag him out of the throne room. When we come closer to the monarch, I can clearly see why the Empress would be called the Sun of the Empire. Her golden dress and crown glister in the sunlight, falling through the floor-to-ceiling windows of the throne room. But no matter how beautifully dressed the Empress is, her smile makes me think I'm a mouse in front of a lion. Alas, the prophesied Saintess stands before me in the flesh! I smile and make my best attempt at courtesy following Celeste's memory. Wince on Father's face tells me I failed to move properly. Father and Elijah make smooth bows. Thank you for the chance to have an audience with us, Your Majesty. Grace to be in your presence again, O Radiant Lady. Of course, how could I not gaze upon the chosen heroine with my own eyes? The Empire has been waiting for her for over 20 years. I'm surprised your daughter is the one who turned out to be the Saintess, Count Alaric. A nervous chuckle escapes Father's lips. She indeed possesses an affinity for archery, Your Majesty. It's not her. Your daughter doesn't act much like a noble lady, does she? She does have a reputation for enjoying quite boyish activities. Father's face turns beet red. He's embarrassed because of me. Seems the Empress finds me lacking as well, and having her, out of all people, displeases me is not good. It's known that Count Curie has two daughters, the one who's a perfect image of the noble lady, and the one who's a tomboy. I suppose the girl is fancy for us, although dressed in finery is not much of a proper noble. Silence falls in the room. Everyone looks at me, expecting me to answer. Under the stunned attention, my mouth goes dry and I can't find my words. Why did I think I would suddenly gain respect by becoming a Saintess when Celeste's questionable reputation has been spreading for years? Father already told me I was lacking. In a sense, it's good that everyone expects Celeste to be quite lousy at etiquette. After all, I have no idea how to curtsy or properly use fancy utensils or dance like a graceful noble lady. I'll do my best to be a proper Saintess. I don't want to fail the Empire, but yet archery or proper behavior. And so you want us to believe you're suddenly going to improve your etiquette skills and your knowledge of politics. And that's what's expected of me now, isn't it? So I'll focus on honing my skills with the golden bow, but I will also work hard to fulfill the political side of being a Saintess. Our conversation is interrupted when the door to the throne room bursts open. Hi. A well-posed, tall, blonde man enters the room in a dramatic fashion, his cloak waving behind him in a sudden draft of air. He's Noah, Levi's love interest in the book. Handsome guy! Noah's skin is darker than most Lucari Empire nobles, but only slightly. He's inherited most of his features from the Empress. When he spots me, a smirk appears on his face. His red eyes shine with mischief.
Knock, knock. Did I miss anything?
Fashionably late as always, my son.
If I missed nothing, there was nothing to miss. This is the Saintess, right? Count Decoris's tomboy daughter.
Yes, that's me.
You're good at archery, are you not? Better than you are at etiquette, at the very least.
Yes, I'm quite good with the bow.
Quite. Then you'll be perfect for the role of the Saintess.
How can you say that? If a lacking individual takes up such a high role in the hierarchy of the Empire...
All the Saintess needs to do is shoot the golden bow and hit the Demon Queen straight in the heart. Then the war will finally be over. Is that not what you want, Mother?
I want peace more than anything else.
Oh, here I'm thinking it's gonna talk for a little bit longer, so I gotta stretch a little bit. I feel like there's more to this statement than I can decipher with my incomplete knowledge about Lucari Empire politics. I never paid much attention to that aspect of the book when I was reading, too excited about the romance and adventure parts. Celeste didn't really pay attention during her lessons either. Together, we know next to nothing about the Lucari Empire's political situation. Okay. Please don't worry about anything, Your Majesty, Your Grace. I'll defeat the Demon Queen and bring peace to the Empire. Empress Muriel gives me a long look. After a moment, the confident smirk that Noah inherited from her is back on her face. Excellent. Then there's nothing stopping us from proceeding with the mission to defeat the Demon Queen, is there? Noah, you'll be the one leading the Saintess' quest. Noah's eyes widen. He opens his mouth and closes it. But you will lead the Saintess' quest, and you will take the 20 best men from the palace guard, the Aegis Tower, and the church to accompany you. You will leave in a month. In a month? So soon? Shock makes my heart beat erratic. My current archery skills, I'm nowhere near ready to defeat a powerful enemy so soon. Is there a problem? You said you're great at using the bow, and that's all you need to be successful Saintess, right? Can't deny her words, neither can Noah. After all, we're the ones who just made those claims to her. I simply thought we'd have more time to prepare. There is no more time, not with the Demon Queen's army closing in more and more on the capital in recent years. I think you and the Saintess are ready enough. But I question the Empress's judgment. The Emperor and Noah glare at each other. Noah doesn't respond. He just turns around and walks towards the door. Noah, you will prepare for the quest and depart in a month. As you wish, Your Majesty. You will accompany the Saints and my son on their quest as well, High Priest Elijah. The Saintess' quest will be an important moment in the history of the Lokari Empire. I wouldn't want to miss witnessing the Saintess defeat the Demon Queen. Organize a ball to celebrate the finding of Saintess tomorrow evening. Be sure to attend, all of you. We all reply we'll be there, and after some final departing words, we're dismissed. After the audience, I ask everyone to give me some time alone. I'm too overwhelmed by the recent events. I need some time to think. Take a sheet of paper and a quill and begin to scribble down my thoughts. Describe my death event. The demon attacking the woods near the Dekura mansion. That's why Levi is likely to continue to love Celeste and not become interested in anybody else. I'm not really the Celeste Levi loves, so I have her memories and the portion of her skills, but I'm basically Celine and Celeste's body. I'm not just Celeste recollecting a past life, instead I, Celine, have taken over Celeste's body at the pivotal moment in her life. Does that mean Celeste is really dead? I don't sense her presence living in my body, which is a relief, truth be told. I prefer being alone with my thoughts. Still, this idea of her passing is sad, even if I'm conflicted about her treatment of Levi. What were the two components needed to defeat the Demon Queen again? The first one is firing an arrow imbued with the golden bow's light magic at the Demon Queen's heart and actually hitting the target. So I need to practice both archery and accessing the bow's magic. I suppose training with a bow will take some time, though I have a little to spare. As for wielding its magic, that's something Elijah will know more about, given that he's a light magic user. Scribble down that I need to talk to Elijah about the golden bow and its magic. There's also a second component to defeating the Demon Queen, one that follows the story trope more than practical logic. Noah and Levi's love makes the magic of the golden bow stronger. I'm scared. This situation isn't just a story in the book anymore, it's my reality. Levi, Elijah, Noah, you're this father of the Empress? They're all real people. They aren't acting according to script either. The plot of the book has changed. It's a real world now with unpredictable consequences. And I'm at the center of this new story. Levi dies at the end of the book despite defeating the Demon Queen, despite Noah's love for him. Will I die again too? Will I have to fall in love with someone? Who should it be? Levi, who blindly adores this lady? Noah, who has been burdened with leading the mission to defeat the Demon Queen? Elijah, who's a priest and can't marry someone unless they're part of the church? Or should I pick someone else entirely? Next evening, Linda gets me all dolled up for the grand ball the Empress is throwing in my name. At the ball, I find myself sitting at the table, staring at silverware I have no idea how to properly use. Celeste's memories aren't helping me much. Kieran puts a salad in front of me and I pick up one of the forks. There's an offended gasp from my left and I look at the noble lady sitting next to me. She's almost purple in the face, staring down at the fork I'm holding. Wrong piece of cutlery, then. Put it down and take another in my hand. I still sideways glance at the noble lady. She doesn't seem to be offended anymore. This must be the right fork, then. When everyone starts eating, I dig into the salad too, but it tastes like paper to me. I'm nervous. My hands are clammy.
So you've become the Saintess, Lady D'Aquarius.
The man to my right, Duke George, if Celeste's memory serves me correctly, strikes up a conversation with me. He's a young duke and a powerful player in the battlefield of Lokari Empire's politics. I'll have to do my best not to say or do anything strange.
Yes, despite my surprise, the golden bow has chosen me.
Well, now that you carry such an important role, do you plan to improve your knowledge of etiquette?
He points at my salad. Come on, what am I doing wrong this time? Duke smiles, but his expression isn't unkind.
You have no idea what you're doing wrong, do you?
I don't.
May I?
He extends his hand to me, and when I don't protest, he touches my hand gently to modify the way I'm holding the fork.
Oh, come on, George. You're spoiling the fun.
The lady to my left has a cruel smile on her face. Shoot, I really was eating the salad wrong after all. My cheeks heat up from embarrassment, and suddenly I find it hard to breathe. Now that I'm the Saintess, I will be watched closely. The nobles are all going to be laughing for weeks about the way I ate the stupid salad. I just know it. Excuse me. There's a tightness in my chest which makes it hard for me to breathe. My heart is beating so quickly, I can't be here anymore. I have to get some fresh air. Are you okay? Duke George calls after me, but I walk quickly to the terrace. Once I'm away from the throne room, I run into the gardens. I stop only when I reach a small pond. Here I put my arms around my frame, trying to control my breathing. Breathe, Celine, in and out. In and out. Don't cry, you'll ruin the makeup Linda spent hours putting on you to make you look like a real noble lady. Didn't think I would run into you here. I turn around when I hear the voice. It's Noah. He's drawn his sword and his usual mocking demeanor is not present. He's completely serious when he suddenly puts his sword against my throat. My heart beats so loudly that it feels like it could jump out of my chest, this time from fear. Does Noah want to kill me?
I wish I could just kill you and be done with it.
He does. But why? Suddenly I remember the scene. I fangirled over it when I was reading the novel. This is a scene where Noah puts his sword to Levi's throat. It's overly dramatic, and most of the readers of the novel interpret it as a romantic interaction. But now I think the setup is just ridiculous. I could take a step back at any time from the coldness of the steel, and my neck would be safe. I give Noah a long stare. He's looking at me seriously, as if he's really pondering if he should harm me. Don't believe he actually will. I will entertain his antics for a while longer, just to see what he has to say to me. I want to know how much the scene changes with me here instead of Levi.
Why do you want me dead?
Because you're the reason I have to go on the mission to kill the Demon Queen. And so soon. If anybody less capable than you had been chosen as the Saintess, Mother wouldn't have told us to leave within a mere month.
I'm glad he thinks so highly of my archery skills, especially considering how little the nobles think of my etiquette skills, but he's wrong.
I may not be as great at archery as you think.
That fact would change nothing at this point. Mother is now convinced you can defeat the fiend. This is a suicide mission. None of us will come back from the quest.
Even though I remember this line from the book, my eyes widen.
How do you know we won't return?
His words almost feel oddly like foreshadowing for what happens in the book. Noah seems to seriously believe what he's saying.
20 people going deep into demon-ravaged lands to enter the Demon Queen's castle and kill her. What could possibly go wrong?
He's really convinced we're going to die on this quest. I can see a desperation in his eyes.
Can't you convince your mother to postpone the day we leave or to increase the amount of people we can bring with us?
I've already tried. She doesn't want to listen. It's almost if she wants to set us up for failure.
I feel like there's a lot about the relationship between the Empress and Noah that I don't understand. It's painful to watch him suffer under the heavy weight of so much doubt.
Look, I'm afraid of the mission too. But I don't want to give up. I won't just roll over and die. I'll keep fighting until the very end. No matter how the mission ends, I want to be sure I've done everything I can to fulfill my role properly.
Ha, you think your best is going to be enough to defeat the Demon Queen? Are you not afraid of death? I'm very afraid, but what else am I supposed to do? What would people think if I just hid in the countryside with my father's mansion? Citizens of the Lokari Empire have waited 2 decades for the Saintess. I may not fully believe in myself, but I can't simply give up. We have a month until we leave. I'll spend that time improving myself. You're the crown prince. You should lead by example as well.
You're right. I can't just give up.
I must also see the mission through until the end. I'm sure you'll do great on the quest. I hear you're an impressive fighter. Not sure we'll succeed. I'm not as sure we'll succeed as you are, but you have given me something to think about. I don't want you to die, Your Highness. Please don't dwell on failure so much. I'll try. Just Noah's fine. We're teammates now, I suppose. I like the sound of that. I'll continue trying to get Mother to delay the deadline for us to leave. I would appreciate more time to train. Right. Time to go back to the ball then. Without sparing me another glance, Noah walked past me toward the terrace. I look out at the water of the lake and take a few deep breaths. I really hadn't expected Levi's scene with Noah to play out for me. I also didn't end up responding the way Levi would have, or encounter didn't turn romantic at all. Yet my heart is beating quickly regardless because I'm still scared about so many things. The stress is catching up to me. I fall to my knees on the soft grass. I can't hold back my tears any longer. I'm tired. I'm terrified. I want it all to stop. Tears overflow. Looking into the lake, I allow myself a moment of weakness. Why is this happening to me? I don't want to be Celeste. I never wished to be the Saintess. While I realize no matter how much I cry, this new reality won't magically change for me. The sooner I accept my fate and put my energy into the few things I can still influence, the better. With renewed purpose, I get up and walk back towards my room. Screw the ball. I'm not going back there only to be ridiculed further. I don't want the whole Imperial Court to continue watching how terrible I am at being a noble lady. I walk down the corridor towards the apartment when I hear someone running behind me. It's Celeste! Levi calls me by my first name, like he always does when it's just him and Celeste. It's something the two of them agreed to do when they were younger, before Celeste grew to avoid them. Levi stops before me and looks me up and down, checking for injury. Where have you been? I didn't notice when you left the throne room. You're not supposed to go anywhere without me. Father's orders, I know, I just forgot. I realize I haven't been thinking about how Levi would feel if I suddenly disappeared. Yet again. I'm not concerned about failing to follow his orders. I'm genuinely worried about you. He blushes and looks away. After a moment, he looks back at me with a worried expression, then looks me up and down again. You're all right, are you not? He focuses on my face and frowns. You've been crying. You must notice my smudged makeup. I was, but I feel better now. What made you cry? When I see the sincere worry on Levi's face, I want to tell him the truth. I'm just overwhelmed by suddenly becoming the Saintess, by having to carry the burden of saving the whole empire. I look down, tears welling up in my eyes again. Celeste. I look back up to see Levi staring at me with love and adoration. It hurts being on the receiving end of such feelings, knowing that they aren't really for me. No matter what happens, know that I'll always stay by your side. I'm sorry to drag you into this quest with me. He would have been caught up in this mess anyway if he were the same, but now he's coming along anyway as Celeste's knight. Don't say that. I swore to always protect you, did I not? Back when I became your knight, remember? I recall Celeste's memory of that time. They were both 14 back then, and Levi took a knee in front of her and swore that he would protect her until death did them part. I'm not the one whom he swore to always stay beside. That person was Celeste, so he should be free of the oath since Celeste is kind of dead. I can't tell him the truth, though. On the spur of a moment, I gesture towards Levi. Levi, lean down, please. You're too tall. Too tall for what? Levi gives me a puzzled look, but complies with my request. I press up on my toes and kiss him on the cheek, not Celeste, but Celine, because I genuinely feel grateful to him, and I don't know how else to express myself right now.
Celeste?
Levi blushes a deep red and gets flustered. Only when I lean back and smile at him do I realize I shouldn't be doing something so intimate to a man who loves a woman who once inhabited this body. Might be sending him the wrong message, especially after our earlier conversation.
I'm sorry. I just...
Don't be sorry.
I just wanted to express my gratitude.
I let out a sigh.
You always do your very best to protect me. Thank you, Levi.
You're welcome, but it's my job to take care of you.
I know you're not doing it just because it's your job.
Turn around and start walking towards my room before Levi can reply. Let's go, Levi. We need a rest. Training starts tomorrow. I'm going to take a small break here to stretch and stuff, so be back in a moment. Alright, after a fairly long stretch break, let us continue. The next day, I begin training with a golden bow on the palace training grounds. Much as I expected, due to its elaborate design, the bow proves difficult to use. I send arrow after arrow flying at targets, but I only hit once out of every 10 times. Not only are my bow skills rusty, but the weapon isn't cooperating either. Finally, too frustrated to continue, I give up. Try again tomorrow. I make my way to my room with Levi following behind me. This voice is a suicide mission. We're not going to come back to Solace alive. Please, Noah, don't say such things in public. What if someone hears you? At the end of the corridor, two people stand to the side talking. The one who said something about a suicide mission is Noah. After a conversation in the garden the other day, his words don't shock me. What does surprise me, though, is that he's openly talking about his feelings with someone else. I hide behind a pillar and take a peek at the other person. The dark-skinned knight with her hair in buns must be Tarek, Noah's right hand and the leader of the palace guards. She's wearing armor with the Lucari Empire swirl insignia on her chest, characteristic of the guards. The leader of this mission should believe in the quest's success. You can't be heard doubting our ability to defeat the Demon Queen. It's just, I have a really bad feeling about Mother's request, Tarek. Why is she pushing us to go on to the Demon Queen's castle so soon? Why can't we have just wait a few months until everyone feels ready and has practiced fighting as a team? We can't go against the Empress's orders, you know that. She said her reason for the rush is that the demon army keeps getting closer and closer to the capital. Yet the fiends are at least 3 weeks' journey away from Solace on horseback. Also, by a long stretch break, it's been quite a while, so the voices might be a little different for people. Yet the fiends are at least 3 weeks a journey away from Solace on horseback, and they haven't made any significant movements toward us in at least a decade. We've got time. The Empress seems to have a different opinion on the matter. I just don't trust her. Noah, what will you say? What if... Suddenly she turns around and sheathes her sword. Who's there? She's noticed me. Step out and reveal yourself. I step out from behind the pillar, revealing myself. Oh, if it isn't the Saintess, welcome. Hello? How much of our conversation did you overhear? Told you, Your Highness, you should be more careful. Sorry for eavesdropping, I was just curious. Noah takes a step closer to me. Oh, you were curious about me. I didn't say... He leans in closer to me, his face level with mine. I didn't know you were interested in me, Celeste. That's not what I meant! I'm very pleased to win your attention. If you want to know more about me, how about we get together for tea? I'm not... Would tomorrow afternoon be okay for you? He's not letting me get a word in edgewise. Anger rises in my heart. I'm not interested in you! I take a few steps back, putting distance between us again. Noah chuckles. I don't appreciate you flirting with me. Is that what I'm doing? You clearly are! The other day he wanted to kill me, and today he's playing with me. What a frustrating guy. I'm leaving. I rush towards my room with my footsteps heavy. I feel furious at Noah for clearly making fun of me. Levi follows behind me like my shadow. I spend the next few days training with the golden bow. I increase my accuracy rate, but I'm still struggling to wield the weapon. In the afternoon, Elijah approaches me. How's the training going? Should I be honest with him? I hesitate, but I know I'll need his help to access the bow's magic. Training has not been going great. Honestly, the training's not going great. I feel like the bow is fighting me for control. The bow is supposed to be semi-sentient. The issue may very well be that it hasn't yet fully accepted you. hasn't fully accepted me. What should I do to make the artifact approve of me? Unfortunately, I don't know. I wanted to ask you something else. Ever since I was chosen as Saintess, you're the High Priest, so you know a lot about holy magic, is that right? As much as a human possibly can, I'm the strongest light magic user in the Empire. That's right, I remember that part from the book. Everyone thought Elijah would become the saint, but on his 18th birthday, he didn't get chosen. The previous High Priest abdicated at that time and passed on the role to Elijah. That's how Elijah came to have such a high position at such a young age. The novel also said Elijah's light magic is abnormally strong. Could you teach me about light magic? Sure, but you have no magic of your own. You know that, right? I nod. Celeste was never a magic user, and the fact didn't change when I took over her body. But I have to defeat the Demon Queen with the Golden Bow's magic, right? So is there a way for me to access it? Ah yes, artifacts like the Golden Bow do carry their own magic. You don't have a magical affinity of your own to use their power. You don't have to have a magical affinity of your own to use their power. Although already being trained in wielding magic would help you understand more easily how the bow's magic is used. I can at least explain the basics to you, and then with practice I'm sure you'll catch on. Please teach me what you know about using an artifact's holy magic. Sure. Elijah moves behind me, touching the hand I'm using to aim the golden bow. Close your eyes. I will pour some of my light magic into you so that you can understand how magic flows through the human body. To access the golden bow's magic, you have to pull some of that magic toward you and let it enter your body. Be open to it, and don't struggle against the power. I close my eyes like Elijah commands. I feel his grip on my hand growing firmer. He's standing behind me, his chest pressed against my back so I can feel the heat of his body touching mine. The contact is quite intimate. It makes my cheeks flush with embarrassment. Then I feel Elijah's magic enter my body. It's a gentle stream, not as strong as when he examined me for injuries a few days ago. Still, I can feel the magic coursing through my veins. Focus on the flow of the magic. Elijah told me to focus on the flow of the magic, so I don't let myself succumb to the pleasant feelings of closeness. I focus on the power coursing through my veins instead. Do you feel how the magic is moving through you? Yes, I do. Elijah lets go of me and steps away, taking the comforting presence of his magic with him. I'm almost saddened, suddenly feeling as if I've lost something important. I shake off the strange emotion. You must convince the golden bow to let you access its magic. Then pull the power towards yourself and let it flow through your body. Only by doing so will you be able to aim that magic with your arrow and strike the Demon Queen when the time comes. I use my staff as a way to store more magic. Even though I have magic of my own within my body, I can only use more powerful spells with the staff's help. Just like what you must do with a bow, I draw the magic of my staff into my body, so I can release the power of bolts of light. The human body is a conduit for an artifact's magic. I'll try it out. Great. Now regarding your pull towards my magic, Elijah takes my hand in his. For a moment, though, through our joined hands, I can feel the flow of his magic again. I lean it towards him. It's really peculiar how you're drawn towards my power. Never seen such an affection for someone else's magic in anybody before, or anybody else. So this sort of thing doesn't happen often. Not at all. I'll ask some of the other priests about the matter. Maybe one of them will be able to shed light on the situation. In the meantime, there's something I'd like to ask of you. Instead of training, could you come to the priest wing tomorrow? I'd like to explain to you more about your duties as a Saintess of the Golden Bow. My duties? Yes, did you think the only thing the Saintess has to do is defeat the Demon Queen? I understand that the Saintess, I'm supposed to be a key player in the Lucari Empire politics. But so little time before we leave on the quest, I don't want to start taking part in the politics of the country just yet. Voicing your opinion in court is only part of what it means to be a Saintess. The people of the Lucari Empire have been waiting for the prophesized heroine for 2 decades, after all. Therefore, you're expected to show them you're a proper Saintess, so their hope for the Lucari Empire can continue and grow. Hope is such a fragile feeling. One has to take care of hope and nurture it if the fire dies out. Elijah trails off, a faraway look of melancholy on his face. The expression makes me wonder what he's thinking of. I have no course to ask, though. So, back. I thought there was a... How should I show the common folk that I'm a proper Saintess? It would be best if I explained everything to you tomorrow. Come to my office at 9 in the morning. Bring the golden bow. Yeah, okay. It was just weirdly not letting me hide that UI for a moment. Alright, I'll be there. After Elijah leaves, I return to practicing archery. I try to pull the bow's magic towards me, like he instructed. But I can't replicate what the High Priest did. Even so, I keep trying. There's too much at stake for me to give up so easily. The next morning, I walk down the corridors of the palace toward the priest wing. Levi has been a tremendous help by showing me where the church's part of the building is located. Now, turn right. How do you know where the priest wing is, Levi? I came here with another knight who was injured during training so he could get the priest to heal his wound. That makes sense. We should be close. We take another turn right and walk down the corridor until we end up at the most impressive door in the hallway. This should be where High Priest Elijah works. I'll wait for you by the door. Alright. I knock on the door, and after hearing a faint come in from the other side, I enter the lavishly decorated room. To the left, numerous cabinets support shelf upon shelf of thick spined books, while a large, beautiful painting hangs on the opposite wall. 3 people sit behind the desks. To my left, a green-haired man is focused on some large stacks of papers. He looks up when I enter and gives me a gentle smile. His table is decorated with shining crystals. How curious. To my right, a priestess with curly red hair looks up from the architectural plans for a huge building upon which she's been drawing with red ink. Her face lights up with a bright smile. The podium in the back is Elijah's desk. Welcome to our office, Saintess Celeste. That's the Saintess? I'm happy to finally meet you. I'm Meredith, Development Overseer, currently in charge of leading the construction of the cathedral in Solus. I didn't even know there was a cathedral being built in the capital, further evidence of how little Celeste cares about anything other than hunting and horse riding. Welcome, Saintess. I'm Gareth, the financial administrator. Gareth and Meredith are my trusted confidants. Together, we take care of most important matters concerning the Church of the God of Light. Pleased to meet you both. I'm Celeste Decurie, the Saintess of the Golden Bow. Today, we'll talk about what it means to be a Saintess of the Golden Bow. We'll show you some of your duties. We'll go to the east side of Solus. The journey will take around an hour. We'll be taking a carriage to get there. Meredith will accompany us. I'll hop off at the cathedral construction site so I can perform my duties as the overseer there. What about Gareth? We can't fully close the office because someone might have an important request for the High Priest. I'll stay here and take care of the piles of paperwork. Gareth gestures to stacks of papers on his desk, but his gentleness doesn't change into a scowl. Maybe he likes working with documents? I've got something for you, Saintess. For me? Yes, here. Meredith takes a package from the shelf behind me and hands it to me, barely hiding her excitement. What is it? Proper outfit for the Saintess! Close? You can use my living room to get dressed. Elijah gestures to the door near the podium on which his desk stands. Meredith walks towards the entrance. Puzzled, I followed her. We enter a cozy living room with beige and brown decor. Vegetation is even more plentiful here than in the office. Does the High Priest like plants? Ah, yes, he believes nature is a gift from God. That's why he surrounds himself with plants and takes good care of them. Do you not think the same way about plants? I believe everything that's around us has been created by the God of Light, but I don't attach a special meaning to plants. For example, the cathedral building in Solus is a way for us, the faithful, to prove that God we're using the abilities he has given us so we can accomplish amazing things. If the cathedral, once built, will be the largest building in the capital, it'll be proof of what we can achieve with our hands and minds. That sounds wonderful. Gareth, on the other hand, is enamored with a rare and more beautiful creations of the God of Light, especially gems and jewels. That's why he surrounds himself with gleaming items, as you've seen on this table. Also, he's constantly looking to establish new crystal mines on behalf of the church. The crystal mines that belong to the church are the source of most of our wealth. So to sum up, everyone in the church sees different creations of the God of Light as signs of his godhood. You can find your own way to worship God as well. You made me feel a lot of respect for worship. You've made me feel a lot of respect for the different kinds of worship. Never thought there could be so much to having faith in the God of Light aside from praying to him in the chapel. I've never been particularly religious on Earth, so I was never interested in following the religion of a fantasy world god. However, now I can see how faith in the God of Light is an important part of Elijah's, Meredith's, and Gareth's lives, all in different ways. I respect how devoted they are. I'm glad we could express our faith to you so well, Saintess. I'm sure you'll find your own best way to worship the God of Light. In the meantime, we'll continue showing you signs of our faith, leading you by example. But I've been talking way too much. The High Priest is waiting for us. Open the package, please. I ripped the packaging apart to reveal an outfit very similar to Meredith's, reminding me of a nun. You... Excuse me. You want me to wear this outfit? Yes, you're going with Elijah to the east side of Silas on behalf of the church. It will be a good sign of the It'll be a good sign to the people if you show up in public wearing an outfit befitting a Saintess. Alright, but what is it? Thought I wasn't part of the church since I'm the Saintess. You're not, but this is about symbolism. Are you uncomfortable with wearing the outfit? No, it's okay, I'm just surprised. It's gonna be fine, I'll help you get dressed. Meredith helps me put the outfit on, and we leave my hunting outfit behind in a neat pile on the armchair. I look down at myself and feel like I'm finally starting to play the part of being the Saintess of the Golden Bow. I truly do look like a proper Saintess in this nun's robe. I think I now understand the symbolism of changing into a church outfit. After all, I'll be meeting people who need me to bring them hope. We leave Elijah's apartment and enter the office again. Oh. Elijah's eyes widen when he sees me in a Saintess outfit. I blush, embarrassed by his scrutiny, and suddenly feel self-conscious. Do I look strange? No, you look wonderful. It'll be easier for you to get into the role of Saintess this way. You'll soon see. Okay. Elijah picks up 2 large leather bags and gestures to the door. We're getting ready to go. We'll be back in the afternoon. Good luck with paperwork, Gareth. I'll be okay. We leave the priest's office, making our way out of the palace. We board the carriage with the symbol of the sun on the side. Levi takes a spot next to the coachman at the front. After half an hour of traveling, we stop in front of a large construction site. Meredith calls it her stop and hops out of the carriage. Continue traveling for another half an hour. We've reached the eastern gate. Excellent. Stop just beyond the gate. I want to give the Saints a good tour of Eastern Solace. Understood, sir? Carriage stops and Elijah opens the door. He walks out of the carriage and extends a hand to me to help me down as well. I take it and get out. When I see what Elijah has so enigmatically been preparing me for, my mouth drops open. This is... The land beyond the eastern wall slowly slopes down. As far as I can see from our vantage point, there's a sea of tents in various stages of disrepair. They're made of cloth of various colors, whatever kind of material their owners could get a hold of. The area smells of unwashed bodies and excrements. What is this place? The Solace nobody speaks about. The war front is to the east, and it's moving toward the capital with each passing year. That means each year some citizens of the Lokari Empire lose their homes in demon attacks. To save their lives, many travel to the capital in search of a better future, but there are so many refugees, and the capital has no place for them all. The Empress has long forbidden war refugees from coming inside the wall. She doesn't want to hear their pleas. It took me a long time to be able to negotiate with her to let the church's healers come to this slum 2 times a week so we can help the ones in most dire need. This is the truth behind the war. We have been holding on without the Saintess, but as you can see, this war is slowly becoming a losing battle. If you hadn't appeared as a Saintess in this decade, would we really be able to hold on another 10 years? Or would we lose all hope and eventually let the demons destroy us? Surely the Lokari Empire's army would never give up fighting. Without them holding the front, the demons would come to the capital and even further west. If we fight for a long time only to slowly lose ground over and over again, it can be easy to lose faith. Elijah's voice sharpens as if I've hit on a very personal emotion in his heart. Maybe I shouldn't voice any opinions on the matters of the Lokari Empire's war. I'm not really from this world after all, and I don't know much about the situation. But that doesn't mean I don't want to find out more. I want to help where I can. I understand the situation now. Thank you for bringing me here, Elijah. How can I help these people? We'll go around the whole slum so we can present you to people. We'll stop to talk to everyone who wants to converse with us. It will take a few hours, but I want the word to go around that the Saintess of the Golden Bow is a real person who came here to make sure everyone knows she's ready to save them. You think you can live up to this role? Thank you. Yes, I'll do my best. It seems to me that you're confident in your role. That's good. We need you to put your heart into convincing everyone you're going to save them. Let's go then. I follow Elijah deeper into the slum. Levi steps close behind me, his hand on the sword. He's at attention in case something bad happens. We pass by several people with sunken cheeks, ashen skin, and hollow eyes. When I gaze upon the refugees, I finally understand what a rare commodity hope is amongst them. Hope won't feed them, it won't make their wounds close, it won't increase their living standards. But at the same time, when Elijah approaches a skinny, sickly woman and channels his holy magic through his staff, the relief she feels after becoming healthier again brings a smile to her lips and some light to her eyes. Thank you, High Priest. The High Priest is here! The High Priest is here! Mom, are you feeling better now? Oh, this is my daughter. I'm sorry. She's very energetic. It's great that your daughter can still be cheerful despite the environment she's growing up in. Yes, it's wonderful how children can adapt to even the worst situations. I gave birth to her here. Are you, perhaps... Is your name Cherry? Yes, and you are? Levi. Oh my lord, you've grown so much. Do you two know each other? Yes, we grew up in the same village. Cherry is 8 years older than me, so even though we played together as friends, she really she was more like an older sister to me. She warned me not to climb high trees and looked after me whenever I did it anyway and fell and cried. You were quite rowdy as a child. I like to test my own limits, I would say. It was curious. Huh. That means the Levi's village was destroyed in a demon attack. Yes, our homes got burned down by demons. So this is your daughter then, Cherry? Yes, my precious Lily. Lily. She looks so much like you did when you were a child. That's why I thought I might know you. She really does have my face, doesn't she? Lily runs up to me and tugs at the bottom of my skirt. Who are you? I've never seen you here before. Are you a new nun? I kneel down in front of the girl to put my face level with hers. I'm the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The Saintess? The Saintess is just a myth. She's not real. That's what Mom said. Mom is no liar. Lily, I'm very much real. Pull the golden bow off my back and show the artifact to the girl. This is the golden bow. Only I can wield it, or so it seems. We defeat the Demon Queen with it. That's the plan. Mom says if the Demon Queen is ever defeated, we can go back home to rebuild the village she comes from. Then you have something great to look forward to. Will it really be something great? Yes, you're gonna see a world that's much more beautiful than the place you live in now. Vast valleys, lush forests, white blue skies. I've only ever heard about valleys and forests from the adults. Very soon, hopefully, you'll be able to see them for yourself. Isn't that exciting? Well, yeah. I'm sorry, Saintess. I think it's difficult to be excited about experiencing things you've never seen before. I'm sorry, Saintess. I think it's very difficult to be excited about experiencing things you've never seen before. She pulls the child close to her and past the girl's head. Once we travel back to the ruins of my village, she's gonna see so many wonderful sights. I'll pray for you, Saintess. I want you to have the strength to defeat the Demon Queen. Thank you. Elijah nods at me. I follow him through the slums away from the girl and her mother. At some point, somebody grabs the skirt of my dress from behind and yanks. Immediately, Levi draws a sword and my hand goes to the golden bow. I turn around, only to see a man without a leg. He smiles, showing his mouth devoid of teeth. He doesn't look dangerous, so I gesture at Levi to stand down. Can the pretty nun heal me too? We can't make what was already lost grow back. Damn, I thought as much. It was worth a shot. I kneel in front of the man once he lets go of my dress. I want to be able to heal you anyway. I have no healing powers. Don't! I thought all nuns and priests can heal. I'm neither a nun nor a priest. Why do you wear a nun outfit then? Glance over Elisha and he nods at me. Having him and Levi here as support gives me confidence. See weapon on my back? That's the golden bow. No way! Man, excuse me. The man's loud exclamation gets the attention of other people in the nearby area. Men, women, and children approach us. I feel the burden of what I'm going to say, but I want to bring some hope to these people. Who let you take the golden bow, my pretty lady? The golden bow has chosen me to be the Saintess. I've been carrying the artifact on my back ever since. The Saintess of the golden bow? The Saintess! The Saintess! A wave of whispers goes through the crowd behind my back. A crowd. Now that I turn around, I can see just how many people have gathered. Do they all live in the nearby tents? There must be a few dozen refugees waiting to listen to what I have to say. I swallow hard. Yes, the Saintess of the Golden Bow. People gasp. The one-legged man yanks on my sleeve to get my attention. There's more light in his eyes now that he's heard who I am. Good. He wants to believe the Saintess came down to the slums of all places? High Priest informed me you might want to see me. I didn't know about Eastern Solace, but the High Priest is showing me your situation. I may not be able to do as much as he can manage. I cannot heal you. I don't have such power. But I want all of you to know the Golden Bow has really chosen its Saintess. I'm the Saintess, and I'll do everything in my power to defeat the Demon Queen and end the war. The crowd behind me cheers and pushes closer towards me. Look out of the way! I want to see the Saintess! I want to take a good look at her too. I want to see if she's real. Here Levi take out the sword, but Elijah puts a hand on his arm, shaking his head. Please stop trying to get closer. You're making the Saintess uncomfortable. The people still try to push in closer to me. Elijah looks at my panicked expression and sighs. I expected this might happen. You didn't tell me it could? Don't you want to bring hope to people regardless of the desperation? See how lively they all became? Word that the Saintess has come to the slums will spread far and wide now. But the situation is dangerous! Levi and I will protect you, so let's just go to another area and let more commoners see you. Do you really think that's a good idea? As I said, we will protect you, but these people have to gain hope somehow. I learned long ago that my own presence and healing cannot keep the flame of hope burning in their hearts. No matter what I do to keep their will to live alive, it's not enough. I feel like there's more to the story that Elijah is not telling me. He takes me by the hand and leads me to another area of the slums. At some point, people stop following us. When we arrive in another part of the slums, I repeat my big revelation about becoming the Saintess of the Golden Bow. Refugees act much the same no matter where we go. We're exhausted when Elijah finally says we've done enough. We stop at an area with a few dozen cots, all filled with patients. Between the cots, more people lie on bedrolls on the ground. The injured groan and cry in pain. It's a cacophony of despair that tears into my soul. This is the main field hospital. Healers run around tending to the wounded, but one glance tells me there aren't enough priests and nuns to heal all the injuries right away. Hydration. Also, getting over cold. Alright. Elijah stares at the scene in front of us with a look that tells me nothing about his thoughts. Elijah, what do you think about Eastern Solace? It's a cauldron of those who are desperate to live and those who have given up already. This place swallows you whole when you step foot out inside, and once you become part of it, it never lets you go. I may have brought you here to reignite the hope in the heart of these people, but be mindful not to become too attached to these individuals. Attachment in such a place will bring you nothing but pain. Elijah's expression becomes even colder. He walks towards the first person on the cot, and after a cursory glance, puts his staff on the patient's stomach. The injured man's whole body shines with healing light. He lets out a groan of relief. I walk towards Elijah. Even though he told me not to get too attached to the individuals here, attachment is not the same as caring, is it? I care about all the people in Eastern Solace. I'm just not supposed to single them out as individuals because then when they die, I will suffer. That's what Elijah wanted to teach me, right? You've been helping out Eastern Solace for a long time, have you not? Not that long, only since I became the High Priest. 2 years. Yeah, it feels like I spent decades here. Thank you for bringing me here, Elijah. I'll do as you said. I'll be the beacon of hope for these people. For as long as you have strength to help, please do so. Just be mindful your dedication doesn't burn brightly enough to cause pain. Leaving me confused, he moves on to the next patient and heals him. And so I do the same. I walk up to each and every one of these men and women and tell them I'm the Saintess and I'll defeat the Demon Queen. Even though sometimes I find it hard to look at patients with their burned bodies and mutilated limbs, I continue on, following Elijah around the field hospital. It's the only thing I can do for these people, be their ray of hope. At the end of the day, I almost can't stay standing on my feet. We travel back to the palace in silence. The sun sets by the time we arrive. Elijah nods at me and Levi and turns to leave without a word. Elijah! I'm looking forward to going with you to Eastern Solace next week. I'm glad. With that reply, he turns and walks away from us. Bringing hope to everyone is a heavy burden to carry, but I want to embrace being the Saintess. Okay, that's enough for today. I can't overdo it or else I won't have the strength to train tomorrow. I do a few stretches, grab my bow, and make my way back to my room. I could go to the palace garden first to get some fresh air. Visit the garden. Oh! Greetings, Lady Celeste. I make my best attempt at a curtsy. Your Grace? Are you doing okay? Yes, I am. I ran off from the hall the other night and never returned. It's true that I embarrassed myself by running away from George and Penelope in the middle of our conversation. I was short of breath and I needed to get away so badly, but after I met Noah in the gardens and cried my eyes out, I was too tired to rejoin the party. I didn't want to be amongst people anymore anyway, especially nobles who were just waiting for me to make a blunder. I've been worried for you. I've really been okay. Get the feeling he doesn't buy my words. Walk with me. Okay. We walked for a while in silence until we reached the less frequented part of the gardens. Meaning to ask you about something, but the dining table during the ball didn't seem like the right place. Could you tell me more about the demon that attacked you? Yes, of course, it was an imp if I recognized it correctly. It was a small flying creature with a scorpion's tail, long horns, and sharp claws. Yes, that's right. It had a reddish-gray skin and red wing with some symbols tattooed on them. They come in various colors. Do they? Yes, imps are aplenty at the warfront. They have a cruel nature seeking to play with our victims rather than outright kill them like other monstrosities. Though they're relatively easy to kill with magic and arrows, if one can keep up with their swift movements, they know how to dodge attacks as well. Demons are more intelligent than humans give them credit for. You know a lot about demons. I'm not sure how much you know about me. I used to be the general of the Lucari Empire's army, and I fought on the warfront for years. The general? Yes, the highest ranking officer in the field. Aren't you very young to hold such an important position? George chuckles. I'm momentarily stunned when I see his beautiful, relaxed smile. You're one to judge. Celeste just turned 18 this year. I was 3 years older when I died. Yeah, you're right. I'm 26. Oh, they're not that much older than me. You think 8 years is not much? In this world where there are big age gaps between couples and arranged marriages... Wait, why am I thinking about George as a love interest? He isn't asking me this question for me to consider him romantically. Depends on what you're asking. I suppose you're right. It's just that I feel older than my age. The years I spent on the battlefield took a toll on me. Can you tell me more about the war? Sure. What would you like to know? The war has been going on for a few decades now. Is it really impossible to win without the Saint? We've encountered the Demon Queen herself on numerous occasions, but we couldn't kill her with weapons or magic. Even light magic wielded by powerful priests couldn't breach her defenses. She's a dark aura shield around her that deflects all incoming attacks. Nothing has been able to get through so far. She keeps the demon army very well organized. They obey her commands even at the cost of their lives. Since demons value their own lives so little, they fight viciously and to the death. They're a difficult opponent to face. You've really seen the Demon Queen? Yes, though she can change her form. One moment she's a beautiful woman, the next she's a horrifying monstrosity. I see. After making a circle around the gardens, we return to the corridor. I'll have to make my way back to the palace now. Duty calls. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. No, I wanted to talk to you. I need a break sometimes, too. If you ever have more questions about the war or the Demon Queen, don't hesitate to ask me whenever we have the opportunity to talk. I'd love to learn more about your role as a general, too. Really? It's nice of you to be interested in me. I may or may not answer your question. Answer you, though, depending on the question. Okay. Thank you for talking to me. It was a pleasure. And, Lady Celeste, I know you carry a heavy burden now, having the responsibilities of the Saints on your shoulders. But do not be so hard on yourself. You're trying your best. Thank you. We say our goodbyes and part ways. Ugh, the congestion's kicking in. Is your training going well? In the evening, Eurydice comes by my room. I'm happy to have her company. Not really. I'll let a long sigh and tell Eurydice about my training. I don't understand what the High Priest means about accessing the Golden Bow's magic. Every time I try to think about the artifact letting me share in some godly power, nothing happens. It's frustrating. Elijah showed me how I can feel to receive for the magic, but I cannot reproduce the result. I have no affinity for magic. I don't understand what to do. Don't pressure yourself so much. It's only been a few days since you even found out how light magic is used. You're right. I should be more patient. I'm just annoyed because the golden bow is so clunky in design. The aiming is hard as well. Glare at the offending object which rests next to my bed. It's like the golden bow is actively resisting me. I don't think that's possible. Elijah said the golden bow is semi-sentient. Well, it did have the will to choose its fate. I always thought choosing was all it could do, though, except for killing the Demon Queen and acting as a normal weapon. Golden bow is a mystery, that's for sure. You should take some time off to relax. I can't, not when I have so little time to train. You're not going to be any good at learning how to wield the bow if you just train constantly. The human body and mind have to take breaks from time to time. I know what we should do. Lady Penelope is organizing a tea party on the terrace outside the throne room in 3 days. Who's Lady Penelope? The Duchess of Saintess? I looked through Celeste's memories but come up with no information about the Duchess of Saintess. Or Ventus. I have no idea whom you're talking about. You sat next to her during the last ball. I feel myself going pale and red. Duchess Penelope was the one who wanted me to embarrass myself further during dinner. That's not a good idea. I don't want to go to a tea party? No, definitely not. The Duchy of Ventus is known for its lavender fields and beautiful gardens. They also make the best honey in the Empire. Now that you're the Saintess, the Duchess invited us to her tea party. Many other important people will be there too. All the more reason why I shouldn't go. Ugh. Please, Lady Letitia asked me to convince you to come. If I count this, Letitia is a friend of Eurydice. Her family, I know, they own vast fields and the people working for them produce the majority of grain in the Empire. Letitia's kind and compassionate. She took Eurydice into her entourage 2 years ago, elevating Eurydice's status in society. Lady Letitia said that now that you have such a high standing in society, you should take part in the politics of the Empire more often, Celeste. You're going on the quest now, but once you return home, you will still be the Saintess. You have the chance to be very influential if you use your opportunities correctly. Nothing bad will happen with myself and Lady Letitia around. Please, Celeste. When Eurydice begs me like this, I find her pleas hard to refuse. I don't want to go, but she has a point. Planning to survive the mission, the fact means I'll have a future life beyond just fighting against the Demon Queen. I will return to the palace and then I'll have to hone my manners. I don't want to end up an important player in the politics of the Empire, but I also don't want to become an embarrassment to both myself and my sister. Alright, I'll go. With a heavy heart, I agreed to Eurydice's request. Really? Yes, really. Don't ask me again or I might change my mind. Eurydice grabs my hand and jumps up and down, squealing. Now you're the one not acting like a noble lady. Oh, come on, don't pretend like you care about acting prim and proper now. Thank you, Celeste. But bad feeling about the tea party. Now that I've agreed to go, though, I'll have to keep my word and do so no matter what. Amen. Release. Spend the next 2 days practicing archery with renewed purpose. The threat of the Demon Queen's army feels more real to me after having witnessed the plight of the refugees in Eastern Solace. This war isn't just part of a story anymore, it's really happening. Arrgh! I miss again. The golden bow doesn't want to listen to me. I feel like it's actively fighting me. Aim and... That idea is ridiculous though, isn't it? It's just a bow with magic. I couldn't really be sentient like Elijah said, or could it? Release! Yeah, I'm living in a fantasy world, so isn't everything theoretically possible? I know there are some bounds to magic, but I haven't been thoroughly trained on the topic, so I'm not sure of the specifics. I miss again. Stupid bow. Even so, I don't give up. I aim and shoot again. I miss again and again. Sometimes I hit the target, only to miss over and over again once more. Ouch, ouch, ouch. At some point... I congestion sometimes when you're like doing certain voices too long. Also when you're getting over a cold. At some point I pull the bowstring wrong, probably because I'm tired from making arrows fly like crazy over the past few days and it slaps my arm. My forearm looks terrible. There's a long cut there and when I touch the skin around the bleeding wound I feel even more pain. This is going to bruise. Try to use the bow again, but the pain is too much for me to handle. I can't continue with a practice like this. And I'll bleed out if no first aid is applied. Come to think of it, even if I do get this bandage, I still won't be able to practice. Wielding the bow will hurt too much. I need magical healing as well. Healing magic is still a strange concept to me as someone from Earth, yet holy magic would indeed close the wound quickly and allow me to continue my training. I look around trying to find Levi. Team engaged in mock combat with one of the other knights. Tell him about your injury. Approach Levi. The fight stops when they come close and Levi and his opponent bow to each other. Is something wrong, my lady? I extend my injured arm to him. Oh, you're bleeding, and your arm is swollen. I'd love to say everything's fine, but this wound hurts. A lot. We should find a healer, but first, let's administer some first aid. Levi throws himself into action, running over to the nearby barracks and returning a few minutes later with a jug of water and a clean cloth. Sit down, please. I sit with my back to the building and raise my arm towards Levi. He takes my hand and looks at the wound, angling my arm left and right. I should really stop practicing for a while. You know I can't. We're leaving for the quest soon. I need to be ready to defeat the Demon Queen. And there's nothing else we can do except rely on magic to heal you quickly, but first... This is going to sting. Levi puts a cloth into the jug and taps my wound. Ow! He cleans my injury and then bandages my arm with another dry cloth. Good, that'll do. Let's go to the priest wing now to heal it fully. I follow behind Levi, who is outpacing me with his long strides. He notices I'm not quite keeping up with him and slows down. Feels good to have someone care so much about my pain. We follow the long corridors of the palace to the priest wing. The healer's room is here. Just as Levi is about to open the door, Gareth comes out of the room. He quickly halts before colliding with Levi. I'm sorry, Priest Gareth. No, it's quite alright. I should pay more attention to my surroundings, but I was thinking about how much paperwork I have to do today. Pile of documents is never ending? Yes, as much as I enjoy the work. I feel like a constant stream of pleas and reports never stops. This time, a large group of refugees came to solace beyond the wall. The Crown doesn't care about registering migration, hasn't for years, but Elijah does, and so the church has to keep track of every citizen who arrives in Eastern Solace, and by the church, I mean me. And every refugee is allowed to submit requests to the church, and there are priests in the field responsible for writing the pleas down. Those requests end up on my desk as well. But you didn't come here to listen to me complain about my job. What brings you to the priest wing and the healer's room? That. My lady. She injured her arm. I take a step closer to Gareth and show him my forearm. Oh my, too much archery practice. I might have overdone it with shooting the bow, but since the date we'll leave for the quest is fast approaching, I don't have the luxury of pacing myself with my training. So you want me to heal your arm with the full knowledge that you will immediately return to working on your archery skills and probably injure your forearm again. To healer, I would advise restraint. Despite his reservations, Gareth takes my hand in his gently. An aura of white surrounds my arm. It surrounds my injured arm. Gareth's magic is much cooler to the touch than the warmth I've come to expect from Elijah's magic, but the feel of his power is not unpleasant. There, please don't overdo the practice again. Thank you. And I return to my desk. If there's anything else you need, I'm sure the other priests can assist you. Alright, thank you so much for your help. No problem at all. Be sure to pay the offering for the healing, though. The offering? Maybe the Saintess, but healing in the Lucari Empire is not free. The church's expenses are fun, so please pay the price for our services. Alright, I will. Good. Gareth walks away. Once he's out of earshot, I turn to Levi. I'm confused. About what? Can't help but remember how freely Elijah uses healing powers in Solace beyond the wall. Priest Gareth is a kind man, but he's also very religion when it comes to church matters. I wouldn't assign his request for payment any special meaning, simply treating you like he would anybody else he healed. Church is funded by their investment in the gem mines as well as by people's offerings. Without those two supporting pillars, the church would not function well enough to provide healing or sermons. I suppose I should really follow the order of things then. I'll tell Linda to bring some of the pocket money I got from Father to the healer's room. Be properly paid for the healing, yes. Do commoners have to pay as well? Yes, and sometimes they don't have enough money to do so, but the rules are what they are. That sounds cruel. Life isn't exactly fair, don't you think? Why would you say that? Some are born nobles, others commoners. Some lose their families in the war, others live peacefully as if it doesn't exist. There's no equality. Everyone has different circumstances, and yet they all have to make the best of what fate gives them. I see. We walk back to the apartment. I spend the rest of the day conversing with Eurydice, but my thoughts wander to my conversation with Levi. The next day comes, and it's time for Duchess Penelope's tea party. I almost want to pretend that I've forgotten about the occasion, especially when Eurydice and Linda waltz into my room to get me ready for the outing. Tea party is a more informal affair than the ball or an audience with the Empress, so I opt for a more modest dress. We arrive at the terrace outside the throne room just in time for the event. The table is set up and laden with so many different kinds of colorful cakes, my mouth waters. If only I wasn't an old lady. I'm supposed to mind my manners and eat daintily, otherwise I would have taken a full cake of each flavor all for myself. Considering how physically demanding archery training was, I could use the extra calories anyway. That's Duchess Penelope. Let's approach and greet her. The war is nothing. It's so far away and doesn't concern those of us who are in the capital. Why should we worry about something that will never bother us? You're right, Lady Penelope. And the demon's even real. I hold back a long sigh. Listening to Duchess Penelope only makes me side even more firmly with George's beliefs. He isn't here today, though. This tea party seems to be a woman-only event. Even if it weren't, though, I doubt Penelope would have invited her nemesis to our private gathering. I mean, have any of us ever seen a demon? What if they're nothing more than a myth? Eurydice gives me a look, clearly telling me to hold back my comments. Yeah, I can't stand by and listen to Duchess's stupidity any longer. I have, you know. Have a what? I've seen a demon. Penelope looks up between me and Eurydice. Her cruel smile from the night of the ball returns and my blood freezes in my veins. Well, if it isn't the daughter of Count Decuri, Eurydice and the Saintess Celeste, was it? That's right. Hello, Lady Penelope. Thank you for inviting us to your tea party. I thought it would be entertaining if we got to talk to the Saintess considering her reputation. So tell me, Lady Celeste, what makes you claim that demons are real? Because I fought against one. Had long claws, leather wings, and a scorpion tail. Duke George confirmed it was an imp. Oh, did he now? Yes, and if demons weren't real, like you're saying, why would the war have gone on for so long? Why would people have waited for the Saintess to come for 20 years? It's because nobody else but the Saintess can defeat the Demon Queen. So the soldiers have continued standing their ground against the demons until I'm able to defeat the Fiend. If, as you suggest, money is pulled from supporting the war effort, don't you think wave after wave of demons will close in on the capital, eventually saving you and your followers comfortable lives away? Who are you to tell me what I should believe and how I should lead my political faction? Alright, that's enough for now. How about we get to the tea party properly started? Lady with a braid of long orange hair interrupts us. Eurydice seems relieved at the sight of her. This must be Viscountess Letitia. Lady Penelope huffs. She walks over to one of the cake tables. When she turns around again, she claps her hands and has a smile on her face that could almost be considered pleasant. As suggested by our gratuitous guest, Viscountess Letitia, let's get the tea party started. I'm not so looking forward to the shortcake. The atmosphere changes instantly. Excited chatter ensues as the ladies make their way over to the cake, taking a little bit onto each of their plates. The servants are nearby, but we're supposed to choose cakes for ourselves today. Eurydice sits down with Lady Letitia's entourage. I'm not sure where I should sit. I don't recognize anybody else except my sister and a favorite lady. Sit down with us. Relief washes over me. I take a seat next to Yuri's. There's one more free seat next to me, but nobody takes it. Amongst small talk, we dig into the cake. The talk at Viscountess Letitia's table is much more pleasant than any conversation with Lady Penelope. I relax. At some point, Lady Letitia gives me a pointed look. You really should be more careful about what you're saying, Lady Celeste, for your own good. But what Duchess Penelope said was just stupid. The other ladies give me a startled looks. Letitia lets out a long sigh. That's what I'm talking about. It's fine to have your own opinion. Nobody will force you to agree with her. But you're the Saintess now, an important person in the political climate of the Lokari Empire. It may not feel like your role has changed, especially since your reputation still follows you. However, people are listening carefully to everything you say or do. You're a public figure now. I'm sorry that I'm so inadequate. Duchess Penelope doesn't believe the war is important. George has the opposite opinion. If you wish, you may formally join the side of either of them, or you may choose to politically stay neutral like I am. You are focused on the quest to defeat the Demon Queen now, but a time will come when you'll return from your journey and you'll still be the Saintess. Think carefully on what you want to do. Right. It may be that the demon army will disperse once their leader is slain, or we may have to fight the remaining demon hordes for decades to come. The debate between Penelope and George may become unimportant, or it may grow into the most heated topic in the court. Be mindful of what impact your words have, and choose them wisely. Thank you for your advice. The Viscountess has really given me something to think about for the future. I'm so focused on my training that I haven't thoroughly considered the politics in my situation. Lady Letitia is right though, the Saintess is more than just a tool to end the war. I'll think carefully about what you said. What's with the long faces? Someone slides into the seat next to me. A man. What's a man doing at an all-girls party? Turn around and see Noah sitting next to me with a wide grin on his face. Okay, I have to go attempt to deal with congestion real quick. Attempt to. It'll probably happen again, but hey. Noah, what are you doing here? I was taking a break from work and decided to go for a walk in the gardens. I saw you having a fun tea party, so I figured I'd crash it. Just like that, you figured you'd crash it. Ha, perks of being the crown prince. This table is talking about such serious matters, though. Why don't you ladies enjoy yourselves more? Especially you, Celeste. I hear you're training really hard. I am. That's good. I like women who know their way around weapons. I blush at the implication of what Noah just said. He's flirting with me again, making me embarrassed, and this time he's doing it in front of a table full of wide-eyed, noble women. Noah, why are you teasing me so much? Why? Please stop teasing me. It's really bothering me. You're sending the wrong signals, acting like you're really interested in me. You don't know me enough to be so casual with me. I shouldn't be this casual with him either, but his words set the tone for this exchange, and now I can't hold back the bite from my voice. What if I have a good reason for teasing you? What good reason? I rather enjoy seeing you both blushing and mad. You're a great distraction from organizing a party for our quest. Besides, you know I can be serious when needed. I can't help but feel mad regardless. I don't want to be your distraction. Please stop teasing me. Noah throws his head back and laughs. There you are, getting all mad and flustered again. That shade of blushing pink looks lovely on your face. Noah! Prince and Noah, this is supposed to be a women-only tea party. Duchess Penelope approaches us with a frown on her face. I've had my fill of Celeste expressions anyway, so I'll be going. Noah, people will get the wrong idea. Have you ever seen me care about what the court says about me? I hadn't. They called him the Mad Prince, though, and he was really living up to his name right now. Bye, Celeste. Good luck on the training. Goodbye, ladies. The cake was excellent. He managed to snag a bite of cake during our conversation. Now he loads a bunch of cakes onto a plate before finally walking off. I wish I could act with so much freedom, yet Lady Letitia just told me I can't act how Noah does. Shame, really. That was up. Let's continue the tea party. As the party continues, I notice the ladies from Penelope's entourage whispering behind my back whenever they think I can't hear, or maybe they don't care if I hear them. Have you seen how she acts around Prince and Noah? Could it be that there's something between them? I've seen her with High Priest Elijah a few times. You don't think she's going after a man of faith, do you? My servants gossip about her knight being in love with her. What a shameful thing. With a long sigh and return to Letitia's table, the ladies there already asked me about my relationship with Noah, but without any presumptions about this nature. I love for all the noble ladies to be that kind. For the rest of the tea party, I focus on not embarrassing myself any further. 4 days later, when I'm hanging out in the living room of our apartment, Eurydice approaches me with a spring in her step. Celeste, we received invitations to another ball. Oh no, not another one of those painful social gatherings. Look! Eurydice hands me an envelope with a royal seal. The Empress's seal? Yes, these envelopes were inside the bigger one. The Empress formally invited Father, myself, and you to a ball tomorrow evening. Tomorrow? Yes! Aren't you excited? Not at all? Aw, Celeste, don't be so dour. I'm sure the ball will be beautiful with good food, amazing music, and interesting conversations. You know I hate any kind of gathering of nobles. Can I refuse the invitation? No, you can't. Sorry, but not attending when you got a formal invitation from the Empress could anger her. I don't want to antagonize the Empress. It's just that... What am I supposed to do about my lack of etiquette knowledge? I'm not going to suddenly get a lot better at those skills by tomorrow evening. Though my archery practice, I've had no time to worry about learning to be a proper noble. There's a knock on the door. Paul, Eurydice's knight, opens it. Messenger from Duke George arrived for Lady Celeste. And Duke George. I bring word that my master, Duke of Rudwell, would like to see Lady Celeste in 2 hours at the Royal Conservatory. Duke George wants to see me. Yes, that's right. I'm supposed to come back with a reply, my lady. I'll see His Grace. Thank you. I'll relay the information immediately. Messenger leaves. When the door closes, Eurydice turns to me. Her eyes are sparkling with curiosity. What's going on between Duke George and you? Nothing. I'm just as clueless as you are. We didn't speak much so far. He's a kind man, but I know very little about him. Duke George? Kind? He's always come off to me as cold and very closed-off person. That's not how he acted towards me. How curious. What he wants from me this time? No way to find out except going to see him, I suppose. I'll call Linda and let you get ready in peace. And I'll send word that we're going to the ball. Ugh, if we must. I'm afraid we have to. Alright then, do your worst. Laughing, Eurydice walks out of her room and I enter mine. Linda spends the next 2 hours getting me ready to meet Duke George. It's almost like preparing for a ball, considering I've been summoned by someone so important. All the while, I continue to wonder why George wants to see me. When I arrive at the conservatory, I'm in awe of the splendor of the large glass building. Plants I've only seen in books on the Kingdom of Durandal fill out the greenhouse alongside nature from the Lucari Empire. In the middle of the room is a table laden with food of all kinds. George stands in front of it with a kind smile on his lips. Welcome, Lady Celeste. Your Grace. What is the occasion? I take another good look around. There's enough food for a party. Where's everyone else? There's only one servant in attendance, standing by the glass wall, trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. Levi takes a spot next to him. There will be nobody else coming. It'll just be you and I. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I thought I'd like to partake in a meal with you. You want to eat with me? Yes, that's right. I would go even further. I have a proposal for you. I'd like to offer you a private etiquette lesson. What? Notice your lack of proper table manners during the last ball. I can't fix your lack of knowledge in one sitting, but I'd at least like to help prevent you from getting embarrassed in front of the court. But why do you want to help me? Perhaps I've been interested in you and would like to help you feel better in your skin as a noble lady. Interest? What kind of interest? Nothing suspicious, I assure you. Now will you accept my offer of help? George is offering me exactly what I need right now. With tomorrow's ball coming up, I'm already stressed about my guaranteed poor performance at the table. If he can help me feel more at ease during the ball, maybe I'll actually be able to tolerate the social gathering. On the other hand, Eurydice warned me that George isn't usually kind, and should I accept his offer, I will end up indebted to the Duke. We're gonna accept. See He seems less of a jerk than Penelope to me. Alright, I accept your kindness. Good. Have a seat, please. Pulls out a chair for me. I sit down at the table and give the food a good look. Notice George glancing at my hands. The first matter to address is that you should remove your gloves when eating. That's so. I didn't know. Yes, it's impolite to partake in an official meal with gloves on. George also takes his gloves off. What is it? No, nothing. Please continue. When it comes to how much you want to eat, you should neither eat too much nor too little. At the last ball, you nibbled on your food. Such behavior is impolite towards the host. Not just towards the people who prepared the meal, but in the case of an official ball organized by the Empress, it's impolite towards her as well, but yes. Oh no, it's okay. As long as you're willing to learn, I'll teach you what you need to know. Okay. This part you already do correctly. When you eat, you should bring the fork or spoon to your mouth instead of lowering your head towards the food. Now then, as to the exact posture you should hold during a meal, may I? Yes. George adjusts my back and my arms gently to show me how to sit. Like this. Alright, I understand. Now what's the correct spoon for the soup? He gestures to a table where far too many utensils for one meal are laid out. Send my hand to the biggest spoon. No, that's not right. It's not? You should eat with this small spoon. Now, which is the correct fork for the salad? Hesitate only for a moment before grabbing the fork Penelope approved of last time. That's incorrect as well. But Duchess Penelope, play the trick on you. No, it's unfortunately true. Don't be disheartened, let's continue. Yes, let's see what else there is to learn. As we review more and more of the rules of the Empire's table manners, I start to relax, and so does George. Eventually, we finish the whole meal in the correct way. I watched George eat and copied his movements as best I could. And those are all the basics you need to know. If you review everything I taught you as soon as you return to your family's guest apartment, you should be able to recall most of the lessons for tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for your help. Can't have the Saintess, one of the most important people in the Lucari Empire, be belittled for not being a proper noble. Thank you. More importantly, I don't want you to panic again. You noticed? I saw the condition often during my time as a general, and my soldiers, decreased field of vision, trouble breathing, body shaking, wanting to bolt like an injured animal. Recognized all the signs in you during the last ball. I'm sorry I couldn't follow you out to into the gardens. It would have been impolite of me to leave the dining table. I understand, so I made that big of a blunder? Your behavior won't win you any favors, but I fully understand the need to get away. You've been burdened with a huge responsibility, expected to fit a grand image people have created in their heads of you. I know how that feels, and I don't want you to suffer further. We've all been formally invited to tomorrow's ball by the Empress, so we cannot skip the event. That's why I thought I'd help you gain more confidence, so that you won't be as frightened. I really appreciate your kindness. He said you've seen a lot of suffering on the warfront? Maybe he'd like to share some of his burden with me? Oh yes, I have seen quite a lot of suffering. War injuries, loved ones dying, towns burned to the ground. The desperation that comes from not being able to stop the advance of the Demon Queen's army. The lack of hope that grows because the Golden Bow still has not chosen the Saintess. There's nothing we normal people can do to defeat the Demon Queen. As long as she doesn't fall, the war will continue. And with it, the destruction of everything we hold dear. The Duke's words sound so dark and ominous, but I suppose war is terrifying that way. Soon you will go to the war front yourself and see the destruction. You'll fight demons, you'll comprehend what vile creatures they are. You'll understand that soldiers sometimes have to make difficult choices, and perhaps you'll end up having to make difficult choices yourself. The Duke looks at me for a minute, and the more I gaze into his eyes, the colder my heart becomes. It's like his gaze could freeze me to the core. A shiver runs down my spine. Suppose we were faced with the following dilemma. The lives of both the Crown Prince and your best friend are in danger, and you can only save one of them. Whose life would you choose to preserve? I need to think about this for a moment. Take your time, but remember, in the face of battle, you would have no time to consider the options. Yes, I understand that. Crown Prince dies in the continuity... Continuity? I think it's continuity. I normally don't see it, so it would be bad. The Empire's succession would be broken. The Empress has no other child to take the throne. She's also been reigning long enough that, according to the Lucaria Empire law, as Eurydice once explained to me, she'll soon need to pass the crown to a successor. In the face of a broken succession, the Empire would be weakened, and we're in the middle of war. I'm sure the Demon Queen would take advantage of the chaos. On the other hand, my best friend died, Eurydice, I imagine, whom I've truly grown to love it like a sister. How could I live with myself? If I had to make a decision to protect someone, would I be able to make the right choice between Eurydice and Noah? Will my body move on its own to protect Eurydice, even despite Noah's importance to the Empire? Wouldn't it be Levi, not Eurydice? I choose the Crown Prince. I choose the Crown Prince. I wouldn't want the succession of the throne to be broken because it would throw the Empire into chaos. We can't afford such a difficult situation in the middle of the war. George watches me with scrutiny in his gaze. I stiffen my spine. What about your friend? I hate myself for not protecting them, but my duty to the Empire would take precedence. So you're that loyal to the crown. I just don't want the Demon Queen to have any advantage against the Lucari Empire. I see. Was it easy for you to make your choice? Not at all. Well, that is what war is like. You can relax now. I only want to see that you might have... I only wanted you to see that you might have difficult choices ahead of you. Point taken. When George's smile returns to his face, his body does indeed relax. Phew. I only now realize how difficult this conversation has been for me. Is this what Eurydice meant when she said that George is not always kind? I think I've taught you everything that I wanted you to learn. Alright, I'll see myself out then. Thank you again. I curtsy and walk towards the conservatory exit. When I turn around the doorway, George continues to smile at me. I nod and take my leave. Time until the ball passes like a blur. I practice what George taught me with Eurydice. Soon I find myself seated in the throne room between Duke George and Duchess Penelope again. Take a good look at the cutlery. I think I remember which piece is correct to use for each kind of food. Penelope has a smirk on her face, but I turn my head away and look to George instead. He gives me a small nod. The Emperor starts the dinner and I take small bites of the food on my plate. I use the correct forks and spoons. Penelope gives me a side eye, clearly disappointed when she finds no fault in me. I relax, listening to beautiful music. In no time, the dinner's over. Saintess! When Lady Penelope strikes up a conversation with me, my breathing quickens again. What if I say something wrong? Lady Celeste, would you like to dance with me? I turn my head in the other direction to see George standing next to me with a kind smile, his hand outstretched for me to take it. If I dance with George, I can avoid embarrassing myself in a conversation with Penelope. A conversation the Empress, who is nearby, may overhear. Only problem is I can't dance. Maybe George will be able to lead me through the dance, though? Then remember, it would be a slight to refuse him when he so publicly asked me to dance. All eyes at the table are on us. Same time, I want to confront Penelope. Even if I say something wrong again, I can't run away from facing her. We will dance. I swallow hard and take George's hand, getting up from my seat. With pleasure. George leads me to the center of the ballroom. He gives the band a small wave, and I change the music to something more suitable for dancing. You worry so hard, your thoughts are etched on your face. I'm sorry? I'll lead you through the dance. Don't worry, just leave everything to me. We take a starting position, and George gently moves me through the dance. I follow his lead. The motions are repetitive enough that I find myself relaxing.
I wanted to talk to you again. In the privacy of dancing, I can ask you more than I could at the table.
You want to talk to me?
Yes, I do. First, I'd like to praise you for your etiquette skills. They have improved tremendously. You still lack confidence, but you didn't make any obvious mistakes tonight. Nothing any other noble at the table could scorn you for.
I'm glad.
You still need to improve the way you converse with nobles. But that'll be more of a process to master if you want to put effort into acquiring the skill. Good communication isn't something you learn overnight, after all.
I understand. I really...
Yes? What is it?
I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's because of you that I got through the meal without embarrassing myself. You didn't need to help, but you did. You're the kindest person I know.
The song ends at that moment. George bows to me, takes my hand, and guides me gently back to the table. When I sit down, he leaves to take another lady to dance. The rest of the ball passes by uneventfully. I strike up conversations with some noble lords and ladies, and thankfully manage not to embarrass myself further. Eventually, I redirect my attention to practicing horseback riding. Let me come with you. I'm sorry, Levi. Horseback riding is a skill that Celeste knew well, so I need to practice it alone. If you saw me struggle to ride a horse, you would figure out quickly something's off about me. And in 2 weeks' time, I will have to be in the saddle daily once we head out to face the Demon Queen. I need to figure out how to keep myself on a horse like a confident rider. It's strange enough that I'm leading the horse out of this training ground instead of riding the animal out of the stables. I don't want anybody to see how I'll struggle with mounting the animal. On the other hand, if Levi helps me practice horseback riding, I'll learn it much more quickly, which would be a tremendous benefit. I'll just need to convince him that I've forgotten how to ride. We'll get the help. Actually, alright, please come with me, Levi. But I'm not sure I remember how to ride very well. What? Why? It must be the shock of being chosen by the Golden Bow. Maybe it's the horse, or the fact that I'll be traveling in my Saintess clothing, which means I'll learn to ride side saddle now. I don't feel very confident in my skills. Could you help me mount the horse? Okay. Levi shakes his head but gently lifts me up to put me in the horse's saddle. My legs don't cooperate, unfortunately, and I kick the side of the horse, my weight lifting more towards Levi. Oof. Levi stumbles and I hold on to him more, afraid we will both tumble over. And we do. Ah! Levi falls to the ground. I stand on top of him, my face against his chest. You've only ridden the horse the normal way before, but I thought... Side saddle can't really be that bad. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting off you right now. You don't have to rush. Scramble off of Levi as quickly as I can and stand on my feet. Levi gets up from the ground as well. Can we try again? Of course. Levi helps me up onto the horse again, and this time we successfully get me mounted. I don't feel very secure up here. You'll get used to it, I suppose. Let me grab another horse and we'll go outside of Solus through the western gate. There are only fields out there, so we'll have enough space to let the horses run freely. Sounds like a good plan. Levi ends up leading my horse, holding the reins of both our mounts. We practice all day and then learn mounting and dismounting under his tutelage. By the time we're done, I feel worn out, but the next day we go at it again. After 2 more days of practice, I slowly learn to ride the horse. Levi looks confused about having to teach me so many basics of riding again. I catch him staring at me whenever I fumble. We figure out I'm not who everyone thinks I am. The anxiety of that possibility causes me to make even more mistakes. My 2 weeks of practice are only interrupted by another trip to Eastern Solus with Elijah. For the visit to the slums, I again take Levi with me. There are more patients in the field hospital today. The war front started moving towards Solus a month ago. The refugees from Barwood, the town that was swallowed by the marching demon horde, recently arrived in Solus. Luckily, many managed to escape death. They marched towards the capital on foot for weeks before finally reaching safety. They arrived hungry and in dire need of medical help for festering wounds, barely patched up by the few priests who survived the attack. They remember the sight of Solus beyond the wall. The truth of the environment they would have to live in from now on hit their resolve hard. Is there anything I can do to raise their spirits? Yes, give them the hope as the Saintess. Hope is a commodity that's least in supply in Eastern Solus. If you don't mind, Celeste, could I seek out Cherry and Lily again? Sure. I'll stay and talk to the wounded. For the rest of the day, I wander between the cots, talking to the patients. Even though at times I don't truly believe I can defeat the Demon Queen, I push my doubts aside. I pretend that I'm sure of my skills at wielding the golden bow, that I'm sure an arrow I shoot will fell the Demon Queen. I make the refugees believe there's hope for peace, and in the process I come closer to trusting in myself. I spent the last week riding the horse at a steady pace, getting to know the area. I'm still far from a great rider, but I think I'll be able to stand the journey to the Demon Queen's castle now. Before I know it, all the time I had left until the re-embark passes and suddenly have to pack for the journey. Linda's the one doing the packing, but Eurydice is in the room too. You should take another pair of pants. Noah told us to pack light. We will only have 4 wagons for provisions and some luggage. I can't take too much with me. Besides, I'll be in my Saintess outfit throughout the journey. Something about being the beacon of hope to the party is a symbol of our victory. But won't you be uncomfortable? I learned to ride side saddle because I already knew I'd be traveling in my nun clothes, which don't have pants. I'll be okay. If you say so. Later that day, the party gathers on the training grounds. Noah takes a head count of everyone. Party consists of 20 people. Noah, Tarek, Levi, and 5 other knights. 3 mages, 5 archers besides myself. Elijah, Gareth, and 1 other healer. Feels like a small group for such a grand quest. Still, the Empress seemed disinclined to budge on the number of people out on our party, or our deadline to leave for our journey. Can't change the situation though, I've done the best I could. We ride for days. Only when we're close to being out of the sunlight do we stop to make camp. I'm so tired from traveling at the end of each day that I immediately collapse as soon as I lay on my bedroll. Or lay out my bedroll. Fortunately, I'm exempt from the night watch. Noah wants all my focus to be on the fights as a Saintess, so he needs me as well rested as possible. We don't expect to be attacked by demons this far away from the front line, but you never know. Demon who attacked me near the Decuri mansion wasn't supposed to be that close to the capital either. After another few days of riding, my back and butt are sore, but I finally feel myself getting used to the motion of being in the saddle for many hours. Either I'm so tired that I just no longer care about the pain. A week into our journey, I've seen so much of the beautiful Lokari Empire countryside with its vast pastures and fields and lush forests. It's late April, so we observe farmers plowing the fields in preparation for the season, as well as planting potatoes and other vegetables. Wheat is already growing in scattered patches. I ride alongside Levi and converse with him so that the time passes more quickly. It takes a few more days to finally get used to being in the saddle for long stretches at a time. The other members of our party grow more comfortable on horseback too, and as we travel farther and farther from the capital, I start hearing more chatter amongst everyone. As the next week passes and we get closer to the front lines, we encounter our first demons. The flying eyeballs, or so I've heard the soldiers call them. There are several swarms of other creatures ahead of us. Their wings flap, their scorpion tails slash the air, their mouths open to show snake-like tongues. They're almost cute. Dodge. Patrice, a mage I got to know during one of our conversations at camp, shouts when the demon's eyes suddenly launch beams of red light towards me. I fall to the ground when the beams pass by, just missing me by a hair. Pay more attention to the battlefield, Saintess. You see the same when I have no experience with real combat? Stand next to Patrice, who has prepared a ball of water at the end of her staff, and is now firing blasts of water at the eyeballs. She hits one of them directly, wailing the fiend drops to the ground. Is this really your first proper fight, Saintess? It is. I'll support you then, and so will the melee combatants. She gestures to Levi and Noah, who are now taking care of the other 2 eyeballs that attack me. All you have to do for your hurt is fire the bow at the eyeballs that are flying, too high to be taken down with swords. Also, don't forget to breathe. Only now do I take a deep breath. Alright, noted. Let's fight then. Take an arrow from my quiver and knock it into the golden bow. I draw a steadying breath and shoot the arrow at the eyeball flying in the top of the swarm. I miss, but the way it avoids my shot allows me to learn more about the movements of the creature. When I fire another arrow, I hit the fiend and take it down. Yes! Great job, Saintess. Patrice has taken down 2 demons in the time it's taken me to fell 1, but comparison is unnecessary. From what I've heard, she's a trained soldier with previous war experience. If I gain more experience here in the battlefield, maybe I'll become as good and as proficient as she is. First, I have to survive long enough to become good at combat, so I push my fears aside and fire an arrow, then another. After a while, the fight is over. Noah looks around at their party and breathes a sigh of relief. No losses on our side. Great job, everyone. Party cheers. What a fight. Still, as my adrenaline rush subsides, I suddenly become aware that my arms and legs are shaking. I take a seat with my back to a nearby tree. Are you alright? Levi runs up to me and kneels beside me. I'm not hurt, don't worry. Just a bit overwhelmed by the fighting. If there's anything I can do to help. No, Levi, I just need to get used to real combat with enemies rushing at me to kill me. I'm not a trained combatant like you are, or at least I wasn't until all the training I recently completed. All I've done before is hunt prey for sport, prey that didn't fight against me with claws or rays of magic from their eyes. We're going to encounter a lot more demons on our journey to defeat the Demon Queen. There's no time for me to mope around, but I can't stop myself from shaking. I'm sorry, but you have to go through this. If I could do anything to lessen your burden, I would. I know. Thank you, Levi. I can't be weak. I have to keep fighting. Everyone expects me to kill the Demon Queen. I have to stop being afraid. I know why this situation is so hard for me. I grew up in peace. I never had to consider fighting in a war, especially not against grotesque demons. I have to accept reality, though. The life I had on Earth ended. I died. I belong to the Celeste world now. I get up from my seat, taking Levi's hand. When I look around the party, I see the priest healing the wounded. Even though I think we should make camp early, we continue traveling. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. As we continue moving over the next week, we fight even more demons, the encounters increasing in frequency as we near the front line. We pass by contingents of the armies from the Lucari Empire and Durandal Kingdom. We exchange information and find out we're nearing Barwood, the new location of the front line since last month. I remember Elijah mentioning that the refugees from Barwood had recently arrived back when I last helped out at Eastern Solace. Nobody has yet sighted the Demon Queen in any of her forms on the new front battlefields in the last month. We passed Barwood the next day, and the sight of the destroyed village brings sadness to my heart. Even so, we continue advancing to the Cloudmund Castle, where Levi's party fought against the Demon Queen in the book. We'll arrive at Cloudmund Castle the day after tomorrow. Be ready to engage with hordes of demons. The town in front of the castle has been overtaken by hundreds of fiends. We'll be entering the real battlefield now. Noah gives us instructions how to fight as a party. We'll divide into 4 formations and everyone will be assigned a specific area to defend. I'm in the same formation as Noah, Levi, Elijah, and Patrice. We're the core of the party, the most important team. Noah, Levi, and Patrice were tasked with protecting me as well as fighting the demons. Elijah's there to provide healing should any of us get injured. We're all confirmed that we accept Noah's orders. Today I'm not as tired as I usually am. I glance around and notice the serious expressions on everyone's faces. Is there anything I can do to help cheer up our group? What if we throw a party? I could maybe hunt down some game with the golden bow. No, wait, I don't think I know enough about hunting to manage that by myself. What's on your mind, Celeste? I think we should have some fun to help improve morale. How about we throw a party with some real food instead of the hardtack and smoked meat we usually have for rations? Sounds like a good idea. I can get the archers to come with us so we can hunt down some fresh deer. Are you sure you want to go? Yes, I agree that a party would help everyone focus more on our upcoming victory and less on all our recent brushes with death. Levi goes to chat with the archers by their tent. A man and 2 women agree to take part in our small plan, or so I assume when I see them grab their bows. Each of them goes into the woods in a different direction, and so do Levi and myself. I don't actually know how to hunt, but I couldn't have admitted that to Levi since Celeste was an excellent huntress, so for a few hours I just fumbled through the woods. I don't manage to bring anything back with me, but Levi and the others don't question my lack of game. They say that it was difficult to find any animals due to the nearby presence of demons. The others at camp cheer up when the fresh venison starts cooking on the campfire and the heavenly smell reaches their noses. People gather around the fire, chatting excitedly. Levi and I change into more comfortable clothing. The others decide to remove their gear as well, switching to more casual outfits. Levi takes out his lute and plays a few notes. I completely forgotten that Levi was musically inclined. The novel mentioned in passing that he sings and plays the lute. I get to experience the singing for real now. That's wonderful. Noah sits down next to Levi, drinking from a cup. He's also changed clothes, though his outfit is still plenty fancy. It's great to see everyone relaxing. I turn around to see Elijah behind me. He's changed his clothes as well. He looks good out of the priest's robes. We can't be doing gloom all the time. Some fun is required now and then to keep our sanity. Is it now? Elijah trails off, looking to the side with a thoughtful expression. I want to ask him what he means, but Noah suddenly waves to me. Celeste, come over here. I look back at where Elijah was standing. He's already gone, wandered off to the side of the camp where Gareth and the other priests are opening a tall bottle. Did they bring alcohol with them on the quest? I suppose it's alright to drink from time to time. I approach Noah and Levi instead. When I come close, Levi starts singing a song. It's a happy tune, folk music about a party of adventurers who have fun solving people's problems by killing demons. I sit down on the other side of Levi. Noah nods at me with a smile, but doesn't say anything. I keep quiet too. I don't want to interrupt Levi's singing. Levi has a wonderful voice, calming and fun to hear. Some members of the party start clapping to the rhythm, others move in the dance. When the meat is ready, Tarek slices it up and serves everyone. We eat and drink, chat and laugh. Later, Levi continues playing the lute and singing as people dance more. It's a happy time, a memory I'm sure I'll look back on with fondness later. At some point during the party, Tarek approaches me with a bright smile on her lips. How are you faring, Saintess? Better now. Notice you seem in low spirits after the fight with the demons. Does fighting demons get easier with time? You get used to combat eventually. There are just a few types of demons, and you can quickly learn what to expect from each of them. Yes, I think fighting gets easier with time. I'm going to share something personal of my own with you now. Please don't tell anybody I said this. Of course. As leader of the Palace Guard, I fight humans more often than demons. I think combat against demons is easier than fighting and possibly killing a fellow human. Hope you'll never experience the need to take a person's life. Oh. Tarek's words make my blood freeze when I realize what she's trying to convey to me. I understand. Some demons have humanoid forms, make no mistake though. No matter how much they resemble humans, they're not like us. They only want humanity's destruction. Why do demons detest humans so much? Nobody knows. One day, 20 years ago, the portal of the demon realm opened on the Lucari Empire's eastern border. Demons pulled out of it and brought carnage to the easternmost towns and villages. Demons speak their own language. Nobody knows what they say to each other when they communicate with each other. They use no written word. All attempts to learn their language have failed. Only the demon queen can speak the human tongue. How did she learn our language? Some say she gained the knowledge by eating humans, which also gave her the ability to take human form. Ugh. Demon Queen has no humanity either. She's the vilest of the fiends. There will be many more fights with demons ahead of us as we near the front line. You'll get more experience killing the enemy and eventually growing more comfortable with battle. Don't worry, Saintess. We'll protect you. All I have to do is stand at the back of the formation and shoot arrows. I feel like my task is easier than yours because I'm not a frontliner. No one else can do your task. We are here to make sure you're able to complete it. I'll do my very best. Thank you, Tarek. I feel lighter now. Still not sure if I can get used to killing demons, but I know I need to do my part. It's okay to feel lost. Saintess, if you ever feel afraid again, seek me out. I'll provide my support. Thank you. After my conversation with Tarek, I returned to the celebration. Looking at everyone dancing, singing, and laughing lifts my spirits further. We may be going on a grand quest, but that fact doesn't mean we have to be serious all the time. The sky is ashen with smoke from the burning houses of Clamond. Demons of different terrifying shapes are flying above the rubble. We need to push through the ruins of the town to reach Clamond Castle. We'll confirm our understanding of Noah's orders, then we get into our plan formations. Take a position in the back of my group, next to Patrice and Elisha. Noah and Levi take the front. Glance over at the other groups. Noah's organism is similar to ours. Archer are cast in a few frontliners for each party. Clear the road to Calmon Castle. Formations 1 and 2, you're going first. Formations 3 and 4, you'll follow after the first two groups clear the path. No, Formation 3. Noah has us wait a few minutes before we move deeper into Calmon. First two formations have already cleared the path, but demons pull between our groups and there is a landing on the ground and the flap of wings. Clear a way for all of our groups towards the castle to put up a fight. Grip the golden bow more firmly and take an arrow out of the quiver. This is no time to be afraid. We have to break through and I have to do my part. A devil blocks our path. He's a humanoid demon with a wit made of fire. He waves a weapon around in front of himself, making low guttural sounds. I swallow hard. The fact that he's so human-like is unsettling. I remind myself of my conversation with Tarek at the campfire. The demons are not humans. Advance! Noah gives the order. Our formations get into a fighting stances. The frontliners, Levi and Noah, run up to the devil and engage him in a melee. A swarm of flying eyes appears above the devil. These are a better target for me. I could harm the fighters with my arrows if I shoot at the humanoid while they're fighting him. I aim the golden bow at the fiend. I think about what Elijah taught me about accessing golden bow's magic. Could my shot become more powerful use light magic and be an arrow? I thought that the light magic of the bow was reserved for defeating the Demon Queen, but maybe I'm wrong. The extra power can help us get to the castle? It's worth a shot. Take a deep breath and close my eyes, focusing on the light magic coursing through the golden bow. Pull a thread of that white light towards me and direct it into the arrow. The arrowhead glows. Whoa! I've done it! I managed to pull the magic into the arrow properly. I feel like my holding the holy power might slip any time, so I quickly aim the arrow at the flying eyeballs, remembering what I know about their movement from earlier fights. I shoot. Hit the flying eyeball at the top of the swarm. The demon burns in the white-hot fire of the holy magic, letting out a squeak of pain. Noah turns around and gives me a smile. Nice job, Celeste. Thank you. Ah! Just then I hear a soul-tearing cry from Patrice. When I turn around to find her, I see the devil has sunk its claws into her stomach. Patrice! The devil twists his claws deeper into Patrice's body. Ah! Sounds gruesome, but I can't take my eyes off of my companion. Oh no, she told me to pay attention to my surroundings. Yeah, I focused so much myself that I didn't realize the demon was near her. Now... Noah runs up to the devil and impales the fiend with a sword. With an inhuman wail, the creature falls to the ground dead. Teresa's body slides to the ground too. Noah catches her before she hits the pavement of the street. Urgh! She spits out blood. Patrice! Elijah runs up to Noah and Patrice, enveloping the water mage's form in white light. For a moment, the light dims. We all look at Elijah with confusion. It's too late. Realization that we've lost Patrice hits me like a wall of bricks. When I look at her eyes again, the light in them has dimmed. Noah lowers her eyelids. She's dead? Is it my fault? Rest in peace, Patrice. You'll be remembered as a great fighter. Tears well up in my eyes. I hug myself. There's no time to cry. As soon as the demons notice we're not paying attention to our surroundings, they swarm us again. But we won't join Patrice on the other side. Not today. We fight even more fiercely than before. That woman had dreams much like I do. She wanted to help defeat the Demon Queen, and now she's gone. So quickly, in a single moment when I wasn't looking. We continue making our way through Cloudman, getting closer and closer to the castle, but each fresh victory feels sour. An hour passes, maybe 4. Time flows differently when you're fighting for your life. I'm terrified and tired, but the real battle hasn't even started yet. We finally regroup with the other formations in front of the castle gates. Along with Patrice, there are others who did not survive. Matthew, a fighter from the first formation, has fallen. He wanted to rebuild his village so much once we defeated the Demon Queen and returned from the quest. We also lost an archer from the second formation, Veronica. She was the one who hated demons the most out of all of us. They had slaughtered her whole family of 9. These brave people wanted to defeat the Demon Queen with all their hearts. Now, they won't have a chance. But we will carry out the task, keeping in our hearts their dedication to the fight. There's also Patrice. I will forever carry the burden of her death. If only I had been more vigilant on the battlefield, she would have lived. We're going inside. Gates to the castle courtyard are open, as if welcoming us. We walk through the courtyard and open the heavy castle gate doors. We continue down the corridor. The place is so quiet that it's eerie. No more demons attack us. Why is this place so quiet? There are no demons around. The corridors are so empty that it's eerie. But I feel watched. It's as if a heavy presence can be felt in the walls, the ceiling, even the floor. Could be a warding spell put on the structure of the building. What's a warding spell? Forms a caster if others enter the specific area where the magic has been cast. So the Demon Queen already knows we're coming. It's quite likely. We're entering a trap. She wants us to come to her. It's possible she's keeping all our forces in the throne room, which seems to be right at the end of this corridor. We can't just walk into a trap. You see another way? We need to find the Demon Queen to slay her. Can't we lure her out? She uses other kinds of dark magic to make us come to her. She could even twist the warding spell into one that will compel us to go forward. We have no way to turn back now, do we? I fear the time to retreat is past. The only way is forward, then. Everyone be ready to enter combat as soon as we breach the throne room. I want to stop Noah, but understand as much as everyone else that we can't run away now. We can't possibly die either, though, can we? I've trained so hard to be ready for this moment. A few steps later, we enter the Grand Hall, which now serves as the throne room of the Demon Queen. There she is. There she sits on her throne, a smirk on her face. She's a beautiful woman, but she's unmistakably not fully human. Horns protrude from her head, and there's a third eye on her forehead. She swirls her long tail in the air. Her leathery wings flutter. She's as gorgeous as she is deadly.
You've arrived. I've been expecting you, Saintess.
Her voice is enchanting, pulling me towards her. There must be something magical about it. I would never want to come close to this monster of my own free will.
Get in formations.
There's no chance you just want to quietly die, is there? I would appreciate not having the chosen of the God of Light in the way of my conquest.
You vile demon! You're ready to perish!
I wasn't talking to you.
She glares at Noah, forming a ball of pure dark energy in her hands. Noah commands everyone to take positions in advance. As Noah, Levi, and the other melee combatants run into the room, the door on the opposite side of the hall bursts open and a swarm of demons pours in. Taking a spot at the back of the fight and get ready the golden bow. I hesitate for a moment. If I kill the demon queen, will the other monsters stop fighting? It's worth a try, isn't it? Ah! I double-clicked. Back. I aim the golden bow at the demon queen's heart. Take a few deep breaths, doing what I can to steady myself. The demon queen notices I'm aiming the weapon at her. The confident, amused smirk returns to her face.
Let's have some fun, shall we?
I do my best to remember what Elijah told me about accessing the golden bow's light magic.
Don't fail me.
I try to gather the power in the arrow. The golden bow resists me.
Not now!
There's red magical energy gathering in the palm of the demon queen's hand. She's not looking at me, but at Levi. I welcome her being distracted. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Let the arrows imbued with light magic fly at the demon queen. Just then, she releases the red bolt of magic in her hand at Levi. When she glances back in my direction, the arrow is almost at her heart, but she flicks her hand in the air and the arrow's magic disappears. It bounces off an invisible shield and clatters to the floor.
No!
Perish, you fiend!
Just then I notice Levi running straight at me, pointing his two swords at my chest. There's an aura of red magic around him, and his eyes look so far away.
Be a good puppet and kill the Saintess for me. No, Levi, don't! He has feelings for you, beyond what's appropriate for a knight and his lady. Isn't it fun to use the one who loves you against you? No! No!
I take a few steps back, but Levi, controlled by the demon queen's magic, moves more quickly than any normal human. He runs one of his swords straight through my stomach.
Celeste! Celeste! Oh, I've done this. Why?
Levi drops his swords and takes me into his arms. I'm dying. Life is slowly seeping out of me along with blood from the giant gushing wound in my stomach. Even so, I bring myself to comfort Levi.
You didn't mean to. It's the Demon Queen's magic.
I was too weak to resist her. It was all my fault.
I want to convince him he's innocent, but I have no strength to speak anymore. I can barely even breathe.
No. What have I done?
It hurts to speak. It hurts to move my head to look at him. It hurts to breathe. The Demon Queen's ominous laughter is the last thing I hear before I slip into the darkness. I'm in heaven again, the comforting cotton-like substance cocooning me. I lost a battle against the Demon Queen. I couldn't control the golden bow properly. Now the Lokari Empire will have to wait for another saint, if another one will even come at all. I'm not in physical pain anymore, but my heart aches from regret. The fight against the Demon Queen is no longer mine. I'm dead. I won't be able to save anyone. I'll miss Levi and the others. The heavenly sound interrupts the quiet again.
You must fight on.
The angelic voice is back. What do you mean? I'm dead. I can't... Ah! Before I can protest further, my soul gets pulled into the golden whirlpool again. Close my eyes, becoming dizzy like last time. Drop a save, actually, just in case. When I open them again, I find myself in front of the golden bow in the chapel, my hand touching its cold surface. The pain from the bow's light magic entering my body is excruciating. I faint before I can even scream. As Celeste's experience, death is not the end of the Saintess' journey. Will you be able to rewrite her fate? Thank you for playing the Saintess of the Golden Bow on demo. Wishlist us on Steam. Well, that was the updated Saintess of the Golden Bow demo. I definitely saw a few new scenes there. I ended up getting the same ending with Levi. GG me. Like I prefer him as the character. Anyway. Took me a bit because life kept happening and I got sick and still getting over sick. But yeah, that was Saintess of the Golden Bow, the demo. Go wishlist it on Steam. And, well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider tossing a like, comment, subscribe. Maybe click the bell for notifications. Also, be sure to check out the description below. Various links, social media, Discord, come hang out, get notifications there too. And until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!